Jill.
Oh,
Hi!
Hi.
Hello! Welcome to another
we
week
didn't
of
do
Doctors
any
and
of the
Dungeon
things.
Masters. I'm Kelly Breivik, a PhD student at UWM, and I am the Dungeon Master.
My name is Caitlin Brajevich. I study criminal justice for a bachelor degree at John Jay College.
And who do you play?
Favor.
There we go.
What do you play?
Oh, what do I
Learn-
play?
Oh!
Find out.
Oh!
We gotta find out on
It's a
our
secret.
own.
What? I have to actually use roles?
Yup.
Conversation and
What is
RP?
this?
I don't like that. Anyways, hi, I'm Corey. I am a PhD student here at UWM in the English department. I'm playing C. Woo woo. Yeah, I'm playing Franz. And you won't know what I am.
Alright, cool. I'm Layla. I'm a PhD student in the anthropology department. I'm sorry, PhD candidate. Whatever.
Fancy,
Gotta be
fancy now.
whatever. My department is like that, so they've been yelling at me for not using candidate. So I don't have to do that. Anyway, I play Alabaster Crane, also known as Ash. And since we're just gonna let it be a mystery, we'll just let it be a mystery.
Class doesn't matter. I'm Eric. I play
Class
All
doesn't
right.
matter.
Class matters a whole bunch.
I think this is a conversation for the end. Like that would be an awesome topic for the end of this stream. Like,
Yeah.
class doesn't matter.
I will save what I was just about to say for the last half hour.
What?
So stay tuned if you want to hear my rambunctious thoughts.
Okay.
Make sure you don't forget.
Can we get a recap of what happened last time?
Nope.
Should I leave the room?
No, that's fine.
What did happen last time?
You were back.
I came back. I got saved. Ash did this whole thing where he was being an idiot and got captured
Mhm.
by our major enemies. And these two cats over here came to save my ass, which I appreciated.
We decided we're gonna head north and fight zombies.
Right, heading north and fight zombies. But
King of the North.
stopping by a changeling concentration camp.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, we went on a little. Speaking of changelings,
Gosh, yeah, the old man.
old man told
the
us
old man.
there were
Oh,
shapeshifters
yeah.
in his house, and I proceeded to murk one of them.
Who we actually saved somehow, which I still don't understand. M was like, "Don't trust this guy. Let's question him. Let's figure this out." And both of us were like, "Nope. Let's just rush in and kill some people."
To be fair, they shot first.
To be fair, they did shoot first.
To be fair,
That is true.
you entered their house without permission.
Hey, Han shot first and he survived.
So they hit us with rocks.
And you hit them with murder.
We hit them with murder. Yes.
But they didn't die,
One of them died technically.
Definitely the spiritual death.
and then he didn't die.
And then we saved him because the DM was being very, very nice. Also, I'm very hyper today, and I
Well, I'm glad
apologize
you have
in
to sit
advance.
for 3 hours.
No, Ash is just gonna be particularly animated. It's gonna be good.
Fuck yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Any last minute things before you leave Taizhou?
Where
When I
are
say
you have
last
to do
minute,
any
you don't
shopping?
have. Didn't you do shopping? You were.
we've done shopping.
Yeah.
Y'all
Even-
have done
even-
shopping.
Even you did shopping.
Did
Yeah,
I
we
do shopping?
bought candles and shit.
Oh, I did buy candles and shit.
Cool. Candles.
Can I just pick up 2 healing potions? That's all. This really. After yesterday, I just feel like I need some in my bag. That's
That's
just,
easy enough. You don't even. I mean, we could.
We have the candle, but I feel like having a potion, which is
Yeah.
me.
I'm gonna do that too.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I
what
have
they're
they
50
cost.
GP.
I have 2
Okay.
potion of healings. I'll just give you one, and you only have to buy 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I already
Cool.
have a potion of healing. Hell yeah.
All right.
1d8 plus 2. Where are we?
I would say you're leaving the Thieves Guild to exit the city. You are kind of on a mission, so there's not time to frolic around the city. So it's like a last minute, like, I need to make sure this is done, and then go.
Do I see Joe?
Yeah, you can see Joe.
Okay, I'm gonna jump on her back.
She
is the thing.
lets it happen
Oh!
only because
Okay, I
she
don't have
needs
to
you to
roll.
leave. And she catches you, and she goes, "Okay, please leave now."
And I whisper in her ear, "Don't forget the tiger."
She nods and she goes, "Eventually, I've got stuff to do, but yes, it is on my to-do list."
But it's for your favorite boy.
becoming less and less favorite by the second. Who knows? Maybe I'll like King more than you. Soon
As
enough.
long as it's not Lucky. And I look at Lucky and I'm just like,
Lucky's just... He's still scared of you.
good.
Um,
I'm a
for
ledge around these parts.
context, he stole his tooth after beating the shit out of him.
Did you actually end up stealing his tooth?
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I sent him to the man.
Yeah.
To steal his tooth.
And Lucky went. That's,
Yeah,
I think that's the
Yeah,
that's
he
the
sent
craziest
him to
part of that.
Scruggs. They just
You're
said,
so
"Oh,
ironic.
there's someone who needs to see you," and tell him that you got something for him. And he goes to Scruggs, and Scruggs, like off camera, just takes the tooth.
Oh
from
my god. Alright. Ash is also gonna basically give, like, he's gonna give Lucky like a note that has his wax seal on it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like, hey Greg, these cats can crash here. If the cops come looking for them, don't say anything.
Okay.
Like,
Wait, who's Greg?
Gregory, my butler.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell Lucky that he always has a place to crash if Bridget and folks ever
Sounds good.
have problems or whatever.
And I forgot to tell you, but off-screen, Joe would have told you how she would contact you, and more or less, she's going to send a letter out to every surrounding city with your name on it.
Cool.
Look for it once a month if there's nothing, and there's it'll be mundane if there's nothing to do, and then there's a secret code word to look for the time that.
Cool.
So yeah, you leave the city.
Alright, once we get
Oh.
outside of Prying Eyes, I'd
Uh-huh.
like to sit down with my fine steed, Candle, and I would like to summon a steed to ride.
Just a question, does it look celestial, or does it look like a normal?
It's a unicorn.
Okay, I mean, you could do
And
that,
I
but
use the
there's...
warhorse stat block.
Okay. Is this inside or outside of the city?
Outside, once we get
Okay.
Is it an Old Town Road? right
You're
now?
not out of Prying Eyes yet. But yes, that can definitely happen. As you're exiting, there is a large dragonborn woman just kicking up the worst fuss with the TSA entry guards, and you could take what she's saying from there. You told me last night what she was gonna say.
No,
What?
Man,
I'm royalty. Let me through. I need to go. I'm royalty.
Is she trying to get out or in?
In.
Okay.
And they're not letting her in right now, and she's just screaming, kicking up a fuss. I am royalty. I have the highest pedigree. She's showing these papers, and they look legitimate from what you can see as you pass by. What do you do at this point?
Well, we gotta go fight the undead.
This is
Fight the
difficult
undead.
because what Ash actually would do is use his badge and be as a city member, as someone who could stamp these papers. She should be allowed in the city, but also you need to come with us, so I can't do that.
Yep, I'm sorry.
Well, you just said we're off to fight the undead, so that piques my
Yes.
my interest in fight the undead.
Yeah, you wanna go find some undead?
Do you just say that really loud as we're exiting the city? Because you're not gonna find
Well, I mean, they officially sent a paladin down to recruit to fight for the undead,
That's fair.
who hired mercenaries in the city. So it's not a well-known issue,
That's
but it's
fair.
a thing.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because they're fighting magical things. They don't have
And
to
we're
know
dressed
it's
to the
magical.
nines, ready for combat. you
That's
know?
true.
Yeah.
We are. He
We look
actually has
badass.
all.
We have
Also
so many
pizza and
candles. We're Bed
What?
Bath and Beyond right now.
Dude, Ash is wearing lots of weaponry. Right now,
Nice.
but it's probably
And-
So you look like my kind of people.
And I have
Probably.
no weaponry on me.
Yes, you do.
I should get
Odd
some
woman out.
weaponry. Oh, on our way out, I will take the cursed shield, but I'll just keep it on my bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you spent money on it. You got it. Eventually, something's got to happen. You'll find some use for it.
Curse someone else.
I was gonna say, maybe you need to send a really light creature to a watery death and just pop the shield on and push him in the lake.
Oh my god!
It's something that can happen.
It is
Or,
something
you know-
that could happen.
Alright, what
Yeah.
seems to be the problem here?
Yeah. Sorry. Are you asking her the guards?
Whoever.
Just amorphously into the air.
The guard looks to you and she says, This creature is being belligerent and providing fake papers. We are not permitting entry.
This is not fake. I got them when I was born.
I know fake papers. Can I roll like an insight check?
Yeah.
What's my insight at? It's not great. 12.
I mean, they look legitimate, but do a perception check.
That's still pretty damn good. That's gonna be 14.
You can't tell, like, what language it's in, but it's definitely not in a language you've seen before.
Okay.
Would I recognize this language?
You can roll, as you're, like, looking.
I rolled the 17. I don't know what check I'm doing.
Investigation, history, or religion.
Investigation is a 21.
Okay. So this is very similar to the writing that you've seen in that underground city. It's almost like a different, like, writing system, but it's definitely reminiscent of something like that. But you can't read it, unless you wanted to, like, cast a spell that lets you read things, but I'm
In
not
front
sure.
of the Inquisition.
I do have
Yeah,
that
so,
spell,
like-
but so I'm going to look up at the god and say, "Oh, you can't read this. This is this is writing from Gil. You should let her in. She's just a Gil citizen."
And she looks over and she goes, "Yeah, but she's still belligerent and lying. That things like this aren't royalty."
I am royalty!
that was Ash's face. Like,
Here's my question: if she wasn't saying anything about royalty, wouldn't you just let her in anyways?
I mean, we are trying to put a lockdown on all unsavory folk.
Unsaved.
So why are you here?
What?
oh,
We're just upholding the law. I mean, creatures like her are allowed to be permitted entry, but not when they are belligerent. She uses a third time because it's the only word she could think of right now to describe her.
I do not like
and-
being talked about like this.
Wait your turn.
wow.
And making up lies. So we only like honest, upstanding citizens.
So the real question is, how are you actually evaluating these papers? How do you know that they're fake, or are you just saying that they are and trying not to do your job because you don't like the person's character? If the papers are legit, shouldn't you let them in?
I mean, the papers aren't legitimate because they're not used on the right material.
What
You do-
other material is there to use?
You do know, like, other countries have different, like,
Yes.
things.
I'm just trying to get in here to find missions and go on quests. I don't care. Just let me.
Wanna go fight
in.
undead?
Of course. I don't care. Let's. You're dirt.
Shit. The guard doesn't like that, but you solved the problem for them, so they're like,
I am going to like flash some kind of like city guard or upper level military or something that
Yep.
would be like, he's just gonna be like, as he's walking away, like telling her to join us, be like, I hope you don't like your job, and just we'll keep
Do
walking.
you punch hands with Corp? Like,
No,
symbol?
no.
Okay.
So I have a badge that you have noticed changes with whatever I happen to be doing at the time.
Go.
roll a deception check.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a fucking
It's
lot.
16 plus 17, so 33.
Oh, because it's your, and then it's +5 on top of the
Yeah.
advantage, right?
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, they genuinely believe their job is at risk, and they're like, and muttering to each other, and there's a growing line as they're like waiting to talk to each other. Like they're waiting, they're talking. The line is waiting while they talk.
As we, I'm like, don't you owe the princess here
And
an apology?
and they look to you, and then they look at you. I am so sorry. I did not mean
Make
anything.
eye contact.
Like just going back and forth. And then they turn. I am so sorry.
You should be.
How would you handle these folks in your country?
Prison.
Damn, y'all lucky.
Banishment. Whatever's more
Shit.
fitting.
Sudden death.
So you could go out of prying eyes so you can summon your unicorn.
Well, what I'll
Or-
say is I'll just say, oh, you guys, go ahead. I just need to take a moment. I got a headache. And so, and then when they're out of sight, because then I don't want to use magic around this new person, then I'll use the candle and summon my unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to use magic, but you summon a unicorn.
No,
Around
in
me.
front. Yeah.
Yeah.
In front of me.
And now
But there's a unicorn now.
You're just gonna like. You're
It's
just gonna
a
tell us
beast.
you found one.
Yep, and then I'm just gonna
Do
ride
unicorns
on up
exist in
with
here?
my unicorn.
Okay.
So you
They
see,
do now, but not because of that. But like in the past 3 years,
Gotcha.
there are unicorns.
All right, so then I'm gonna ride on up from behind.
I love it.
Cool. Bye. I guess I'll
Hey.
see you when I finally get up there.
Oh. So you return with your unicorn. How do you all react to this glorious beast?
I just say, look what I found in the woods.
I'm gonna roll an insight check, even though I know.
I guess I'll roll a deception. I
15.
I didn't feel like I was really trying to deceive.
What's that?
A deception is that's
What?
a 17.
This was just for me. I rolled the thing to see how Ash would react, because he would either like keep his cool or he would freak out. My nat one. So what he does is he's like, "What the fuck is that?" and kind of like just then falls over as
Nice.
he's trying to like back away from this
Whoa,
weird
Ash.
ass.
I'm
Not
playing with the
magical-
horn, trying to like break it off.
I'm gonna smack your hand away and be like, you don't want to do that.
You have long arms.
Yes,
Oh no,
I
you
do.
could. Your hand is up there, like you just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your head did, but so it's yeah, so it's a unicorn, and then what I'll do is I'll take my cloak and I'll kind of like put it over the horn
Mhm.
for a second, and like, Ash, look, it's just like a normal horse. It's just got a little extra.
I love it.
It's also probably like sparkling and super
No,
magic
it's just
and
pure.
shit.
It's like white, you know.
Mm.
And
War
I tell
horse
Franz-
stats. It's basically a horse. I just reskinned a horse, a war horse specifically, but.
And then I tell Franz to respect the creatures around.
Did that once.
What
And I'm
was
having
that?
like flashbacks. More flashbacks. Lucky.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah.
I did that once.
That did happen.
And I paid the ultimate price.
Wait, so my deception check beat your insight check.
So.
It was a 17. So you didn't have to believe me, but now you do.
I mean, I'm still not like.
Yeah, I mean, like, he can mistrust you, but he has no definitive, like, he didn't, like, insight you well enough to
Oh,
know
sure.
that.
Yeah, just because he doesn't have definitive proof doesn't mean he
Oh
can't
no,
still
I'm just
feel
I was
it.
just
Yeah, flat
joking.
earthers.
Yeah.
He's a bird.
I'm still pretty convinced that your that has never gone away. You've done nothing to prove otherwise.
So do you tell, so I'm gonna say Tomas, for purposes of just, like, not having to RP him all the time, he's gonna always scout out, come back, and make sure that things are looking okay up ahead. So while Tomas is scouting, or he heads out to scout and says, oh, you know, wait about 5 minutes and then head out. What do you brief your newcomer about?
Nothing.
I think I've pretty much said everything that needed to be said.
Okay.
Undead.
I mean,
dwarf,
if-
fighting.
If she asks, Ash will answer any question that she has, but
Mm-hmm. Do you ask?
he'd be like, "So who are you? Who are you actually?"
Yeah, well, you could at least give us your name before we go die fighting the undead.
You might die.
I won't die. You all will die before I will die.
If you're royalty, where's your entourage?
I can't find them. Well, I left on my own, but I can't find where I came from anymore.
So do you know where you're royalty from?
I didn't make up a name for the land.
Just make it up now.
Ay, Dragon Tales.
Cool. Dragon
Yeah.
Tales. I'm gonna roll
Okay.
That's an 18.
Do we know where Dragon Tales is?
Well, here's the thing. And roll a history check.
Okay, so history, that was insight.
No,
History.
that one.
It's
That's
good.
good.
Still
Like I
needs
said, it's gonna be a bad
She-
day.
Like, she's not lying to you. Like, you can tell she's being truthful in what she's saying.
Okay.
The dice you bought me hate me.
I'm
Just so
sorry.
you know.
I am sorry.
There's the fourth nat one today.
You can, dice prison it.
I can't.
Or
though.
maybe you've gone through all your nat ones.
It's possible.
We'll
We're
get
gonna
that
see.
early. But who wanted to do a history check?
I'll do it.
I did that one.
That's a 15.
I mean, you haven't heard of a place like that. It could either be because it's from somewhere you've never been before.
So our understanding of your kind of folk is that you guys didn't come about until the impact. So, like, are y'all a recent folk? You guys been around for a while?
What's the impact?
Meteor struck.
Let's just put it this way. Do you remember where you were 4 suns around the Earth ago?
What?
4 years ago.
I don't keep track of things by the sun.
Do you do it by the moon?
No, I primarily live underground.
Oh,
So
that makes sense.
we don't look at that.
Alright, so how old do you think you are?
24.
Okay, so you know
It's
you're
just a number,
24.
man.
Did you celebrate birthdays?
Were you anything besides what you are right now?
What were you when you
How
were
many days are in a year for you?
when you were 15? Do you remember anything about that time?
You mean 20?
I was in school. It was the worst.
Alright, did you look
Yeah, school
like you do
sucks.
now when you were in school?
Do I what?
Did you look like you do now when you were in school?
No,
I
she
mean,
grew up, dummy.
Yeah, I probably had less scales, but
Oh, I mean,
That's about
do you
it.
have any scales?
yes, I am a dragon.
Well, you're not a dragon.
Well, kind of dragon. I'm dragon enough.
I mean, you can't fly. You can breathe fire.
No,
I mean, you got
Nice.
the tail, which is probably more inconvenient than anything.
So she's a real dragonborn.
So
I
you-
see.
So you're probably from somewhere far away, and now you've just mistakenly come to here.
Yeah, you don't want to be around here. Not good things here.
Yeah, not a good place.
well, I'm out here looking for adventure. I need
How-
to prove to my parents that I can take care of myself and stuff. Prove them that I am strong.
Alright, so how do you normally take care of yourself in a tough spot?
Just whatever comes to mind in the moment.
Oh yeah? Do
Yeah.
you punch things?
I like to fight from afar. I don't like to get up close.
Alright,
Does she have a
alright.
bow on her?
A what?
A bow. Does she have a bow on her? Like in
Yeah,
the
I have
scene?
a
She's got dual matrix pistols.
Hey, you never know. We could have a dragonborn gunslinger. You don't know.
No,
That would be-
I'm just joking.
Joke.
I wasn't saying it was impossible. Though it wouldn't be like matrix pistols, right? Alright, so you like to fight from afar, that's fine. Alright. Okay, cool. I don't know.
Okay. So you start heading out along the path. What are you doing as you follow the path along? It's becoming more and more wooded, more and more wild.
I'm
There's
playing
less.
my lute.
Fair enough.
Oh, we're jam.
Yeah, you went
Yes,
Damn
we're
unicorn.
doing jam.
Nice.
I'm rolling a performance check.
We'll see.
That's a
We'll see if
21.
see
You
if this
sound good.
works. Max. Woo!
Nice.
There we go.
So you've just stumbled upon the two best musicians I've ever heard.
This is lovely music.
Awesome. So yes, yeah, you guys are totally in heart. Actually, I'll roll a d20 and use your performance modifier to see how in tune you are with one
That's a
another.
nat 1.
Oh
No,
no!
but what's
It's
your
just
number?
a tuning.
10
Okay, you can
plus some stuff.
or you could subtract
18.
it. So
Or subtract it?
Yes,
Okay, so
subtract.
definitely 2.
Okay, and I
Okay.
can actually up it to 2.
okay, so there you go. So using your modifiers, you are totally in harmony. You got this shit in the pocket. You
That's
are
beautiful.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With every time you make noise together.
No! Absolutely not.
Wait, what was your name again?
Favor.
Favor.
Yes.
So while they're playing their music, while they're
Uh-huh.
playing Nickelback,
No, we're not.
so Favor,
No, it's a silverback. It's
how did you
Silverback.
find your way down here to Taijo?
I just followed whatever path was in front of me until I reached a town. Then I would ask around for. I've only been doing this for like 2 weeks, just trying to find people to go on quests with.
Okay, so how far do you think you've traveled in the last 2 weeks?
How far do I think I've traveled?
she's definitely not terribly far. Like definitely from the area. If you were to like walk from like one place to another without circling around like she did, like 2 days most.
Gotcha.
Well, you see, around these parts, around 3 years ago, things started to get a little wonky. There was a big meteor, it hit the Earth, and then there were all sorts of strange critters and creatures and magic running about. Do you have magic where you're from?
Of course, you don't have magic?
Well, we
We
do
do
now.
now.
We didn't have. You're singing it. No, I'm just kidding. You can obviously copy this. I was just joking because I said while they were singing this song, but that was just a joke.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So.
What the hell's on Jerry's head?
You're not singing Nickelback.
It's canon.
It is not canon.
It's
He will
recorded as a
actively-
podcast
I
We
believe-
will
and on
I
stream.
actively
believe
stop
it's,
you.
I
We will
believe it's,
actively
it's
stop
called
you.
Silver Piece Back.
Yeah.
So it's actually what they're actually doing is just like singing different bits of tunes
Mm-hmm.
because they each keep stopping each other, being like, "No, you have to do something else." But it all sounds awesome.
And I turn like, tell me
It's
what
a
you want,
mashup.
what you really, really want.
Tell me what you want, what you really want.
I wanna.
No, I don't actually know the rest of it.
What
Really,
song
really,
is
really,
that?
ziggy, ah. We just sing it up here a lot.
Yep. So what was the question that you had, or?
We definitely.
Well,
need
that's
a
quite
playlist.
strange. So you're. I don't.
It's real.
So you're probably not. You're obviously not from around here.
No.
Well, I don't know how you got here, but it's good to have you around. Do you do magic?
Of course, that's what I go to school for.
Ah, well, that's good to know. One thing I would say, like, is that all you do is magic, or are you? Not that only doing magic's bad.
I primarily do magic.
All right,
That's
cool.
what my family does.
All right. Where's the source of your magic?
It's a very private, personal
What's that
question.
mean?
He's like you're trying to ask like essentially like which magic class are you, or?
Not necessarily. Just like I get my magic from two different places. I'm asking where she gets hers
Yeah.
from.
You know what? I don't think you would know because you didn't pay attention in school.
Okay.
So.
I
Where do you
don't know
get your
what that
magic
even
from
means.
there?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get.
Where do you get your magic from?
If you're gonna ask personal questions,
Now I'll guess.
shoot it right back at you.
It's personal?
Now I guess we're revealing that we do magic.
Well, I mean, you're kind of
You
poking and prodding.
asked her.
I asked her, yeah.
Are you saying you're not magical?
No, I do.
Sure sounds like you're
I
magical.
do dabble in a little bit of magic. My magic.
I'm
comes
laughing
from-
in character.
My magic comes from a couple different places. There's
You're riding a
there's these
unicorn.
things like these candles that we have, and these things can.
So magic is banned in a lot of places.
Yeah, so you
If
don't
you
want
see
to go
anyone
around.
in like lots of red, don't talk to them.
Yeah, they killed me. That's the source of my magic.
But yeah, so yeah, they kill people who do magic. So
I didn't even do
generally,
magic then, so there's a bit of irony in that situation.
Generally avoid doing magic around large groups of people
Or
and
really
strangers.
anyone, pretty much.
Yeah, don't do it.
Which is why that was a personal question.
Also,
Oh.
Dragonborn are kind of enslaved around here.
Well,
Also, don't just like tell people that you do magic. Like if someone asks, you say no.
And you probably don't want to tell people that you're royalty.
They
but
won't
why
do
would
it.
I want to be treated lesser?
Well, you'll
Well,
actually be
you'll
treated,
worse
lesser.
because you'll be treated like you're insane.
Yeah. Because here, your kind literally evolved from lizards 3 years ago, not
Yeah.
from dragons.
So you're really recent, so there wouldn't be any royalty.
Not her, obviously.
Not
when
you,
she was
not
15,
you, but
which
to
was
to us,
ostensibly 9 years ago.
Yes, yes. So you're kind of an oddity, and that's okay. I don't know what you're doing here, and how to get you home. Those are some tricky questions.
It
So
sounds like she
eventually-
wants to go home.
No,
What?
obviously
I
we
don't
need to go
wanna
get
go
some
home
undead
yet.
trout.
Well, yeah.
That's not my purpose.
Yes, but there's a yet on that sentence.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, you know. But anyways,
Well-
all that to say, you asked where my magic comes from. These items, I don't know what's going on with them. They just have magic in them. Woohoo! When I do, you know, some things, I've got a friend. She's like an angel or something. She's got big wings. She's kind of bright looking. She just, you know, she tells me, hey, you can do this now, and then I can do it.
Yeah, she's what we call a cleric around here.
Okay. I've heard of that before.
Yeah, a really
Alright,
shitty
I
cleric can only do so much at one time.
Jesus Christ.
There's no reason to be mean.
Sorry.
Just make it more.
You're a really bad cleric, though.
Oh, I'm a terrible. I'm a terrible cleric.
You died.
I did
I
die.
saved the guy once.
Although I mean, not as a cleric. I guess you can call
Really,
me
we're
Jesus.
just a band of 3 clerics.
Entirely.
I'm the best of the 3 in terms of being a cleric.
Who have you healed?
He's second. I heal people all the time.
When? I've never seen it.
I even saved a guy's life.
When?
It was.
I mean, with magic. Not because you
right
stopped
in
us
front
from
of
killing
you.
them.
Right in front of you.
When? Actually, when? I don't actually remember when.
That
Leia
was-
doesn't actually remember when.
Well, I
Oh,
guess
when you
it
when
wasn't
you
me.
Yeah.
It was that old person who used to be me.
when you Boggs and Franz just murdered the guy in the woods.
Right.
Yeah, there was that
Yes.
whole thing.
Yeah. Back when you were
Mags.
Max.
Yeah, see, I heal people all the time.
Yeah, but your magic changes. Right? Like, you
Yeah.
used to be able to do things that you can't
But
do
I
anymore.
still can heal people lots.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're being very inspiring right now, Ash.
Give a minute. I can give her an inspiration now. You have to
What?
use it in the next 10 minutes.
You know, you can heal too. So that's why you're the
Only a little
second. You're the second best player, because you can heal a little bit.
I'm selfish. I just protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
So, or maybe I'm the best cleric because I can keep myself alive
You're the only one who
at
has
all
died.
costs. True, right? Right? And now, ever since
He's
then,
really good at hiding when.
But not
when
climbing.
Things hit the fan. Bad at climbing. Good at getting inside a barrel or something, and then letting us do all the work.
except I do the most damage. So
Yeah.
And then he pokes his head out and shoots one arrow, and then pops back in.
If I remember correctly, when we set free all those lizards, you were, what, in the forest?
When we set free, I was fighting all the guards in front by myself, setting everything on fire so that you guys wouldn't get caught.
That's not how I remember it.
I don't remember
Yeah,
it
of course
either.
you don't remember it, because
You weren't there.
you weren't there. What were you doing? I believe you were playing the pan flute in a warehouse by yourself.
hey, I thought, yeah, and you know what that pan flute did? It brought about a lizard apocalypse.
So what we're saying is, we're a good team. We work together apart.
We work together apart.
We're like the Three Stooges of clerics.
Oh my god. Make a perception check, please.
11.
All of us are just...
All.
Oh no. 23.
You are all.
That's
I
a
am
that's a good old 3. So I'm too enamored by my unicorn,
Yeah.
which will also make a foe, not a real check. The unicorn knows what's up, but it's not telling me.
23.
What's unicorn's name?
What do you think the name should be, Franz?
Oh, my Franz name.
I didn't say.
I was paying
I didn't-
attention, and then I wasn't.
Well, now that I have been given this power,
I did
I'm
not
thinking.
say you would name
I'm
it.
thinking.
No,
I
wait,
just
wait, wait,
asked for
wait,
a
wait.
suggestion.
I'm thinking butt stallion.
Well, and that's why we don't let him name things.
Oh my god.
Well, then what would you name it?
What do I name it?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure yet. I'll have to look up.
Butt stallion,
I want to hear something.
I mean, it makes sense with that horn.
right?
You gotta make a decision.
What?
Why do I have to make a decision right
It's
now?
got a strap on already.
Oh my god.
It's
You
for-
watch butt stallions. No, I'm kidding. You watch the unicorn's ears go from like just chilling to right up, and then
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
over in a direction, and you
It's quite
don't see
horny.
why.
In response to the name.
You hear a scream that's like cut short, as if someone like covered their mouth or something, like halfway through.
Is it like a humanoid scream?
Yes. Do an investigation check. If well, you can't. You didn't hear it. You.
8.
Oh, yes, you would, because you would be able to communicate, or it
says
can't
I
communicate
can-
back to you. But
It says that I can communicate with it. I don't know. I made a fake roll. It rolled really well, but I just was joking that the unicorn wasn't paying attention.
8.
okay, you don't know. You can't tell whether it was male, female, anything like that. But you were able to tell it was a humanoid scream that was swiftly cut short.
Okay.
You don't know how far, but it's in here in distance, and you could get in the general direction. If you wanted to do a survival check to investigate, you could. Even
But
though
yeah,
it's telling you
like,
have to.
Like,
but-
Tomas isn't with us right now.
He is not.
So, like, obviously, everything went from hilarity to, like, we gotta go save some people.
Mm. So.
I'm walking forward. I didn't hear
Yeah, I
it,
didn't
so
hear that.
Yeah.
apparently
Like it's up to.
y'all just stopped.
So you just notice your unicorn snap his head over.
So
I'll
her
look
head
over there. And I made a roll, and it was a 22 investigation.
Okay.
Where did Tomas say he was gonna go?
5 minutes
Sketch?
ahead.
Yeah.
So
We should did you not hear the scream?
no.
Well, there's
no.
a scream. We should probably go.
I'm going to say
You know, I've
didn't
seen
hear
the
the
screen once.
scream.
Not that impressed.
But you, with your investigation check, you do see like a wide. It's almost like the best way to describe it is almost like a snake came through, but it's like this wide.
Well, fuck no.
So it's like too big to be a snake.
I'll start gingerly following the path on my unicorn, whose name is Diana.
Nice.
Okay. Diana Butt Stallion.
Yeah. We can call her Bus Stallion.
So yeah. Who wants to? Does anyone want to do like a survival check to see if you get? Because you notice it, you're able to follow through.
Okay, survival.
but-
Unnat 20.
Survival
Okay.
21.
I'll let Franz take the lead on this one. I won't
Okay.
even roll. He got a nat 20.
21
or
and
unnat
20.
Yeah. So yeah, you're able to continue
You're
tracking the
in sync
path. It was a pretty low DC because whatever this is, it's just huge and it wasn't trying to be stealthy about it. And you come upon a clearing. 1 second.
Was it cleared by this behemoth?
Sort of. So like, I mean, it's like
It was 15
underbrush.
feet wide.
Right.
yeah.
Damn. Maybe we should.
I mean,
not
maybe
fight
I
the
made it a
gargantuan.
little bit too wide. So it's really 10, 15 feet at max, not
15
this
feet
20.
wide?
I said, well, it's
It's like 3 princes.
but what was I gonna say? It's not like a straight line, like it kind of
Okay,
weaves.
cool.
So like
Yeah,
it's like in this area, but not necessarily this wide the whole time. And it's like pushing down brush and grass. Like there's still trees and everything, and it wasn't like heavy enough to break down trees, or maybe it
So
wasn't
might be one
trying
of those
to.
giant worms.
Alaskan bullworm.
So, and then there's a little clearing over here. There.
Ash is gonna turn. How many beasts are gonna show up today?
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
That.
Oh no, one comes from a candle, so that's all I know. One, hopefully.
Are you sure it was only one? Are we 100% sure they knew what they were doing when they found those candles?
No. We were too greedy at that moment.
Here we go. So you see this gigantic. 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the thingy. This gigantic, like cobra-looking snake. And it's got a green back. And it's not facing you. But there's a person, like knocked back onto this large, flat bed of rock. And there's some stuff over behind the rock, but like you're too far to really have a good investigation.
Is that my
check
brother?
To see. I mean, you could check and see if you would like.
Perception?
Mhm.
It's gonna be a 14.
It's kind of hard to tell whether or not, because you're so far away. There's still like brush and everything. And you really only just see like the boots. So you can't tell from this distance.
And what are those other creatures? I'm sorry. Like the other dice that are hanging out
Oh,
around there?
these are gonna be you.
Oh.
So this is the snake. That's
Okay.
the person knocked back, and there's stuff like over here, but you can't
So
tell what
either
it
be
is.
So-
our desk or a new set of armor. What did you do?
I'll start riding up, and I will say something along the lines of like, "Hey, what's going on here?" In the middle of the.
I'm gonna
woods.
hide.
To the giant,
How close?
to the giant cobra.
That's a 17 stealth check.
To the giant cobra.
There we go.
You're gonna be like,
Um,
okay.
Yeah, and I materialize a lance in my hand, so I can go lance
Okay.
and shield because a lance is a one-handed weapon when mounted.
Okay.
That's what
nice.
it says.
Yep.
You have
No, no, no.
disadvantage when you use the lance on a target. To attack a target within 5 feet of you. Also, a lance requires 2 hands to wield when you aren't mounted.
So with as much gusto as I can, I'm going to say, "Go get him, M." And I'm gonna give M an inspiration die.
Nice.
Okay, so what does that mean?
So that means you have a D6 on any roll in the next 10 minutes.
Okay,
Yep.
and just so we're clear, this is not a snake person, it's just a giant
It's a
cobra.
giant cobra snake.
And let's just go. I'll just start riding into battle on my unicorn.
Okay. Did you want to say anything? Are you retconning? Like, are you just shouting, "What is going on here?" as you're riding into battle? Because before it sounded like
you have
what's
about
going on
6
here?
seconds to respond to this message.
So my question is, are you it's very aggressive. You went from kind of like a "what's going on here" to full on battle. So I want to know.
We'll roll with the "what's going on here." That's more in her character.
on?
She's calm, but she's got the lance in hand. She's ready to fight.
Yeah.
So I'm walking up slowly, but ready to go into a full trot.
And are you okay with being that close?
Sure.
Okay.
If that's when it responds to me or something happens, then that's fine.
Yeah. So, what language did you just ask in common?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I recognize the figure on the
you can
human?
do a perception check.
And I'm up high, so that should help. That one.
Oh no.
I'm like Cobra.
Yeah.
What person, you know? Alright.
It turns to you, and it answers not in common. What languages do you speak?
Oh, I speak Common, Elven, and Celestial.
So no parcel tongue.
I'm gonna Facebook you what it says, and I'm gonna let you know what the language is.
So for inspiration die, I believe you can use it at any time, but before the DM has told you whether or not it passes or fails. So if you roll a d20 before the DM says anything, you say, "I'm going to add an inspiration die then."
Yes.
But not
I
after.
have one. I can add the d6 to one thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Bless, which adds a d4, right? It's
Yeah.
So I Facebooked it to you. So it turns you watch it turn to M, and it answers in like this weird. It's not you expected like parcel tonguey hissing, but it's actually seems to be like a language that it shouldn't be able to speak because you expect but its mouth moves.
I don't
with
like
this.
that.
I don't understand.
No, this is not okay. Ash is not
I
having
will
a good day.
respond. So, do any of you speak
Ooh,
Celestial?
No.
Alright, so we can have this conversation, but you guys just don't understand it.
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
I'm just going to be like, well, I have a question first. Am I getting buzz from my breastplate?
That's protection from good and evil. Let me just see what it. I'll answer that. Ask your question.
6th level is Bard's.
So,
best level.
it
So
looks
I'm at
like you've
5.
got a little prisoner there.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be at 5.
This guy do
Because
something
I'm
bad
2
to
and
you?
4 right now.
And it responds, it can't do anything bad to me. Almost like in a a superiority complex type thing. But she then responds, but he is doing an offense to my job.
And what would your job be?
I must guard the books.
What books?
This is what no one should read.
And she just nods over, and you look at the pile of stuff.
I've never done anything.
And do an investigation check with
God
advantage.
was right. Which is a terrible thing.
That would be a 15.
You're able to see a bunch of old ass books and some stuff to light it on fire, pretty much. And she goes, so.
This fellow, was
I
he
must
going to
protect
burn the books, or are you going to burn the books?
He was. I would never do such a thing.
Okay. Why are the books important?
They're what remains of the past.
All books are what remains of the past to some degree, so that makes sense. Do you always look like a snake?
She pauses, she thinks, and she goes, I've only ever remembered being this.
Interesting. And where did you pick up this language? Most people around here don't speak it.
It's my mother tongue.
Do you speak anything else?
Your language, and she says, meaning common.
All
She
right.
goes, that came second.
And which do you prefer?
The one I'm speaking in.
Fair
And
enough.
then also your your chest plate is vibrating, it's ready to protect, pretty much. but that's all you. Because it's the protection from evil and
And-
good. You would. Is it a, no? It's not attuned, so you wouldn't really know why it's vibrating.
And so here's a question. I'm attuned to it.
You are? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought. Oh, you had to spend with it. Okay, so it just protects you against certain kinds of beings. It doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily
Yeah.
indicate whether they're good or bad.
Yeah. I just was wondering if I was getting a feel if this was good or bad.
Oh yeah, you don't get.
I know that
feel,
I know
but-
that it can't communicate with me.
Yeah.
But I just was curious if like this breastplate, I know what it does, but I've never experienced anything with it.
Yeah.
This is the first time it's speaking to a celestial
Mhm.
being with, or something that speaks celestial.
Mhm.
All right. So why would this guy want to burn books? I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. Why is he here trying to burn, or she, or why is it trying to burn books in the middle of the forest?
I was gonna say she shrugs, but she doesn't have fucking shoulders. She goes, doesn't matter.
Are you going to kill this individual?
Yes.
Why? What if I just take him away? Wouldn't that be preferred?
He will go and burn more. He has said so.
Alright.
This is,
I'm gonna just lightly ride my horse just around the other side to get a better look at the fellow.
Yeah.
Or fella.
Mhm.
Fella.
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Cause like she's tense, but right now, like she has no quarrel with you unless you
Mhm.
try and stop her. It
Mhm.
seems. And at this point, you could see him. You're up close. It's not Tomas. If
Oh,
that's
like-
what you're.
Oh,
Do I
God.
recognize them? Or do I recognize anything like what they're
That's really
wearing?
what matters.
Is it like
Yeah,
an
we can leave
inquisitor or anything?
Pretty
It's an
much.
inquisitor.
Oh.
Oh, well, that being could definitely
Well, these
perish.
people of this kind, now
Oh,
that
it's
I'm
an
a little
inquisitor.
closer,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I have a better idea of what's in those books and who this is. And I would say this is probably not a good guy. Are they conscious?
Yes, but like not doing anything because they're so scared. Like
Mhm.
they just so you know, when they were screaming, like it just got like backhanded with the tail, and it was like it
Yeah.
just did not want to, because one tip of the tail was enough to like fuck them up.
In common, I will speak to the Inquisitor loudly so that people 40 feet away can hear.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Inquisitor. How are you today?
I run forward.
Okay.
Why is he running?
Because he's gonna go kill that guy before M can save him.
Why are we killing him?
Because he's an inquisitor.
What does that mean?
That means
Let's pause that.
You can hear, it's what killed me!
Yeah, so let's pause that. You are, because we're just gonna say you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're there. So, the Inquisitor looks to you, looks to the thing, and it's just help me. That's all you get. And, like very quietly, help me.
Mr. Inquisitor, why were you trying to burn books today?
are you judge and jury now?
And he goes, "It's my job."
Good job, sir.
We should
And do I
probably go in
hear
there.
Franz coming up behind me?
What's your you get
Passive perception is like 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Perception is like when I'm worst.
I mean, I did roll a sneak check of 17. Like.
Okay, so
Okay.
he's sneaking up. I thought you were
No,
like,
he's-
"Rah!" I hate Inquisitor.
could run
you
silently.
did say it's what killed me.
You
did-
did shout back.
Yeah,
that's
So
fine.
I would say you definitely heard that, and you turn
So,
around.
I'll just tell the Celestial Snake thing that, in Celestial, friend of mine, not a book burner.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll return my attention to the Inquisitor. So, Mr. Inquisitor?
Yeah, it's a dude. No, definitely we've gotten to 6 seconds. What are you?
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
I'm like checking to make sure it's not my brother,
Okay.
just for sure. Like.
Yeah, are you
definitively.
like?
Yeah, I'm up there.
Okay, you see, it's not your brother.
Cool. Then we can be on our way.
In those 6 seconds, I'm also just gonna finish that.
Yep.
They are bad with magic. They like to kill everything that's magical. We should probably go up there, or just wait here. We could just wait here.
You can do
I
whatever you
think
want.
I'll watch for now.
Now, I have a
Yep.
question.
ahead.
Mrs. Snake?
Mrs. Snake.
Mrs. Snake. Oh, who's Mr. Snake?
She goes, What?
What's with all these personal questions today?
Mrs. Snake implies there's a Mr. Snake.
Oh no,
Does it
well
not?
you just asked
Yes,
us. You said
Mr. or
Mrs.
Mrs.
Snake. Yeah, that was your question.
Miss Snake.
People can identify
Are,
they
are
want.
people allowed to read the books?
She goes. You can look at, but you cannot take.
All right. I'm interested in reading. That sounds like fun. As for this fellow, let me just ask him one more question. So, why do you think you should be allowed to leave here today?
Oh my God, you're judge and jury.
I'm not.
He goes.
I'm not there.
I did nothing wrong.
What did you do?
Stab you in the face.
Ask Franz in character because he's here.
Yeah.
He goes. There's nothing illegal about burning books.
Okay, legality is not an issue here. You have a snake that's about to eat you.
Yeah.
You have to understand that.
Yeah.
You're in a losing position.
You do an insight check on the snake.
Can I get closer to hear better?
That's a 20,
Because I'm
20
curious.
over 20. It's a 23.
So I won't go up
22.
with her.
Okay. Okay, so you're back here. The snake.
21.
Okay. The snake. You like the fact that you spoke in Celestial is probably the only reason why she's being so patient, but she is getting a little anxious with as the more people that come, the more anxious she gets.
Can I read a
But
book?
she doesn't seem terribly she's just like, there's so many people, I need to protect these books and there's too many variables. I don't like that, but I don't think I can take care of it.
I'm going to say in common and loudly enough so the snake can hear. Franz, before you pick up one of them books, why don't you take all those burning materials and just toss them? Get them really far away from the books.
Well, I can do that by picking up the books and reading them.
Well, no, there's a pile of books and then there's burning stuff.
I'll kick it aside.
Okay. And what was I gonna? Who?
What, do I hear Ash coming up?
No, Ash is not coming up. Oh, but
That's
she
me.
is. Yeah.
Oh.
So you get that far. Someone said something that I didn't address. Who did I not talk to about?
So I had said I'm walking up with her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I don't know her ability yet.
Okay.
Ash is like, can she take care of herself? I don't know.
He's doing the upperclassman thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Ash.
Hmm.
We've got a little bit of a situation here. There's an Inquisitor, and he's been captured by this snake.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I feel like there's more information.
If there's one Inquisitor,
books.
Well, I
Some
think that
burning
these are
stuff.
magical books, or they contain magical secrets. Am I correct, Mr. Inquisitor?
He nods his head, but he's looking at the snake.
so what do I find in these books?
I
Miss
think
Snake,
she's got a handle.
It does appear she does. Is there any way we can assist you, Miss Snake? And what's your? Do you have a name that I can call you by?
Yeah. She goes, I am Sylvian.
Sylvian. Sylvian, is there anything that we can assist you with this fine morning, or is it afternoon now?
It's morning, afternoon, brunch
this
time.
fine afternoon.
Yeah. She goes, you can get your friend, and
No, it's
nodding
not
at
our friend.
nodding at Franz though.
Oh, okay.
And make sure he's careful with those.
Oh, I'm very careful.
Let
I
me-
have very. I'm good with my hands.
Yeah, but she gets a sense of you might try and pocket something because she kind of gets a weird,
Because you're a thief.
Mischievous.
yeah. So she watches you and she has a very good insight.
That's fine.
So she doesn't trust you, not because she thinks you're going to damage.
No
the
one
book,
should
but-
ever trust me. I just
Yes.
want to read these
Do,
books.
do you mind if over lunch I read one of these texts?
She goes, yes, but first, and she looks to the Inquisitor and she goes, dispose of the body for me.
Sure.
I mean, can't you just eat it?
Do you mean dig a hole and put it in there, or set the body on fire like you would with the books?
Or you could eat
I thought
them.
you were gonna eat
Human bodies
eat 'em.
smell really bad.
She looks to him and she goes unsavory.
Yeah, you're right.
I would.
Wait, are you gonna kill him or do you want us to kill him?
Oh, I will.
Okay, cool. Carry
No.
on, my wayward son.
All right. What am I gonna have her
You
do?
want to jam carry on my wayward son while she kills him.
You watch her mouth open, just very slowly, and then this laser beam energy ball, like tiny, forms in her mouth, and then just whoosh, a flame laser just goes in, and it does, like, you've seen Fireball, it's worse than that, and just completely incinerates him and just like that.
So there is no body.
Well, a little bit. When I say incinerate, I mean just like...
Cool, I'll just take a broom and just sweep it off.
Yeah. So there's like little bone bits left, but he's been like, anything like organic besides bone has been melted.
Cool.
So.
Well, he's cremated, so we're all good.
So while we eat
I
lunch,
feel like I
I'd
got a
like
little
to
bit more
just
evil.
Mm-hmm.
take a look at a book and skim through it.
Okay.
Are they in common? Are they in?
They are not,
They're
but I
so
imagine
still.
you're using your comprehend languages for that.
Yes, I will use comprehend languages.
Sorry, I assumed that before. So yeah, you're. I'll get to that. You two, if you wanted to insight check, not insight, Jesus, history check, you can try and.
17.
15.
Okay. I mean, you know a decent amount as someone who's gone to college, but this is not. You're able to confirm this is nothing you've encountered
I
before.
went to the School of Hard Knocks.
You have encountered this, very similar in the little like secret library.
Yeah, do I remember from my children's picture book?
No.
Any way to negotiate the language here?
Do an intelligence check. You are able to.
I am going
You're dumb
to,
today.
but
Sir.
I'm also lucky. So luck point.
That's, oh.
Hell yeah! That's just raw intelligence check.
What? Yeah.
Raw, 22.
Okay. You're able to piece together that this is a how-to.
How
book.
to what?
Like, you know, magic, sorry, how to do different spells. But this is, and you're able to, the one that you picked is specific for, actually, let me do a roll, let me see. I'm gonna see which one this is specific to.
Can we just call this a short
What's
rest?
that? Yeah,
Just don't call it.
okay, this one's specific for wizards. Like metagaming, like this is a wizard spell book. So it's stuff that is learned. It's not something that is from a patron, and so that's the big takeaway that you get from reading through it. If you wanted to do,
Nerds.
I'm not sure if you wanted to check further, you can roll for that, but I'm not sure what you're looking to do. Do you want to try and transcribe it into common? Are you trying to?
Just trying to figure out what this pile of books are.
Okay.
What is it here? Is it a wizard's spell book? Like, does it feel like it was owned by someone before?
Yeah, like it was.
Does it have a name in it?
No, they didn't write their name in it.
But I get the sense that this was somebody's book that they transcribed their own spells into.
Not that they transcribed it. It's almost like a notebook.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yo,
So-
favor.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you read any of this?
I was about to ask you, do I recognize anything?
You would recognize. Here's the thing. It was in a language class that you did not pay attention to. It's essentially in Spanish for the person who only took Spanish through like 9th grade. Like that's what you would get out of this book if you wanted to look through it. So you could tell
Readings
them.
for nerds. You'd have to ask me to read it.
Sylvian was the.
She looks over and yes.
I'm getting the impression that these books were the personal text of an individual. Did you know who used to own these books?
No, I just know I must protect these items.
Who told you to protect them?
She thinks that I just know.
That's weird.
She's a magical creature.
Yeah, that's weird. So, like, to be non-magical is to have, like, free will and agency. That makes sense.
Looking around, is there a better place than out in the open that these books could possibly be?
You're literally like in the wilderness.
Oh,
right
I thought we were
or...
like in some sort of like ancient structure because there's like a stone pedestal and stuff.
No, it just happened to be like a slab of rock.
Oh, okay, just a slab.
And
of
it
rock.
was a good place to burn books because retcon a little. Do an investigation check before the guy was murdered.
Not very good.
17.
6.
Okay. You would have seen a bunch of scorch marks all around the stone thing before she added to it. So it seems like this was a regular burning place for text like this.
You think you'd want to burn the books in the middle of the city to send a message, but that's just me if I was going to run a dictatorship. Anyway, so where do you usually watch these things?
What do you mean, the books?
Yeah.
Wherever I'm called to.
Okay, so where were these books originally?
I don't know. I just know I have to take them, and I can't
So
let
you've
you
just-
know where those are.
Oh, I don't really care. I'm just curious. Do you ever get bored?
No.
Sounds really boring.
No, it is fulfilling.
It sounds about as boring as reading these. You ever read them?
Is Sylvian hurt?
Not at all. She is A-okay.
Alright, well,
Are there
After
more
we-
book piles like this?
Probably. I just found this, and I am gonna wait until I'm called to the next place, wherever that may be.
What are you going to do with the books here when you move on to the next book pile?
I'm gonna put there somewhere safe that you will not know about.
I-
And
There's a secret
when there
library
comes-
somewhere.
Yeah.
And when there comes a time that these books are ready to be accepted in the service, we will
What
Also
service?
underground
this.
service.
Service. Oh,
We are on the surface.
Surface.
Oh, I
We
you
are
said
underground.
service.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yes.
Cool. Who makes that decision?
Probably gods.
Yeah.
Damn.
Whoever
Gods are dumb.
gave
Well,
me my
so-
job.
well, Sylvian, it looks like you've...
What were the qualifications for that job? Just being a big scary snake? Were you like this before, or were you made by the gods?
I think I was made by the gods. Aren't we all?
I hope not.
With that,
Can I do a history check or something to see if I've read about this in a book before?
Mm-hmm.
14 plus history plus 3.
Okay.
17.
Yeah, you definitely remember copying someone else's notes to hand in your homework one day. There are guardian snakes for different reasons, and this particular one is some of them are evil and meant to serve bad gods, but this one is good, and they typically are super fucking powerful. So you may not want to poke the snake. But they are celestial beings that were made with the purpose to guard things. So, and they are very intelligent.
Did you see a guy in armor come by? A holy looking dude. Looks like me, but more
But
attractive.
older. And also that.
She goes, yes,
Is he alright?
looked so.
Cool, so you didn't mess with him. So cool. We're Gucci.
All right. Did you have any other questions about the text before?
no, I think I should just leave this Sylvian to do her job. Nice to meet you.
And she says, likewise.
I
and
reach
she
out my
gets
hand
down.
to shake.
What are you doing?
Being polite!
She goes, what is that?
It's a thing we do.
Greeting or farewell, where he'll model.
It's we could also hug it out, but we don't really know each other.
She lowers her head and looks like she's ready to boop your hand, but then she pulls back and has her tail just wrapped very carefully. You could tell that she's trying not to crush you, but she's still it is a vice fucking grip she's got.
And I'm giving her also we're good sturdy handshake. I respect that.
very slowly, and then uncurls the very tip of her tail, and
That was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
See, that's what I'm doing.
That's
I'm being
Ash
adorable.
Says that. Ash says that in real life.
Nice.
Or in
Not
Ash.
real life.
I don't know.
It's real to
In
me.
character. There we go. Words are hard.
yeah. So yeah, she goes, well, good day.
Good day.
Okay. So you turn back, encounter avoided. Good on y'all. That would have been hard.
We would have died. One of
Yep.
us would be dead right now.
Yep.
It's true.
How do you make camp at the end of the day?
I don't know.
What do you
How
look
does
for?
Tobias make camp?
What?
Is Tobias with us?
Yeah. Oh, Tomas.
Tomas. Sorry.
Tomas would look for a nice little like clearing in the forest. You keep to the path as much as you can, but it's not paved. It's not as nice the further out you get from the city.
Mm-hmm.
So would you all want to, be in a little tree clearing? Would you want to try and set up a little campsite on the side of the road?
I default to the decision made by my brother.
I mean, Ash prefers off the ground.
Okay.
So he would
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
off-road clearing fine. He'd probably take a tree near, like just off the clearing.
Sounds good.
Are there any rabbits around here?
You could do a survival
we do
check.
some survival checks.
Yeah, to get some.
See if we can
That's a 10.
get some dinner. Yeah, no, 12.
You find a lot of rabbits, but you can't catch a damn one.
All right.
You want to employ the help of any of your other friends?
I'm gonna send Sova, my owl, to go
Uh-huh.
catch a rabbit.
Okay, have her do a survival check.
Well,
Nice.
I need
Better?
to figure out what her survival is.
Be wisdom. She has. Well, she's an owl.
Yeah.
She might have wisdom.
She should. She's got perception.
Can I use
Mm-hmm.
to make myself feel more at home?
13.
13!
Chill
Okay.
touch to make a bedding kind
As
of thing
advantage.
and roll up.
As
in it?
advantage.
I
I
did
think
it.
that's hearing her
Yeah.
sight.
Okay.
So you find
Much better.
like a patch of ground that's not covered by
How does your
too much
owl have
grass, and you
negative
make a nice little frosty over here.
I feel like
Yeah.
owls look
And I
cute.
roll up like a dog with their
I don't think that
with a
has
tail.
anything to do with charisma.
Nice. Right here.
Charisma also, like, her book, I think, also dictates.
You're up in a
it's the
tree.
bathroom.
Yep.
Mhm.
Sorry, what was everyone else doing?
Trying to catch a rabbit, not going
Right.
out.
Yeah.
I'm a city boy.
You're able to get a squirrel, but not a rabbit. What's Em and Diana doing?
His ability to
well, I'll
effectively
use
interact with others.
Diana will lie down, and I'll kind of use Diana as
It's about
like a pillow.
personality, I think.
I also learned some very fun things
Fair.
about Diana.
Oh yeah.
One, any spell I cast that has a target, I can also target my steed, and I know Misty Step and Fly. So now I have a flying and teleporting horse.
I love it.
Just don't take her on the highway.
Yes, and then
I love it.
But
it's kind of, and then it knows a language of my choice. It knows Celestial, and it has to be a Celestial Fair Fiend. It is a Celestial,
Mm-hmm.
so it actually works very well with my pack. Like,
Yup.
but that's just because I'm basically a paladin.
Yup. You're up in the tree. You. And I forgot Tomas. Tomas, I'll make this guy.
smite a squirrel.
Oh, yeah.
Cook it with radiant damage.
Does he have
Just
that?
make a fire.
I mean, he has smite.
He goes, I don't use my god's
I-
powers for tricks. I'm sorry.
I'll roll a
For-
survival.
but for
I
survival.
have conjure bonfire, so
I
I
have
can use that to make
19 to cook this squirrel into a stew. Some kind.
Stew,
Alright.
fine memories.
Okay, so you are able to make a
Better love
fine
this
fine
stew,
squirrel
otherwise I'm gonna kill
stew
you.
with Ash, cooking. You're making the fire. It's a nice little round table dinner. And I just gotta pull up
of a
Tomas's
single
stats.
squirrel.
What? I mean, it doesn't have a lot of meat in the stew. It's mostly like,
The meat's just there for some
Roots,
extra flavor.
vegetables, and
yeah, some water, some foraging. You found a couple of like
I put a few
things
of my
that are
special herbs
edible.
in
They're
there.
not like, you didn't find like a vegetable patch, but
we
you
all have
found
+1
a
constitution.
We're all goddamn high.
a bunch of herbs that you could use to make it
That's an ounce of
tasty.
weed.
So it's
You
mostly
better
like
not be
flavored
act-
water
You better not
with
be
some
purposely getting us
squirrel
all
meat
high.
in it. So
If Ash falls out of one of these trees, he's gonna be mad. Do you actually do that?
what happened?
Get people high or have an ounce of weed.
Get people
I
high.
haven't tried it yet.
Jesus
He wants to
Christ.
drop special herbs in the stew.
Where the fuck is? Can't find the damn palette.
Are you gonna drop special
No.
herbs in the stew?
No. I feel like I'll get retaliation.
Oh, that's why, because I'm in fucking races and not classes. Alright, cool. Do you want to talk to each other, go over anything before you set up watches, or what are we doing?
How far away are we from our destination, our first destination?
Do we even know where it is?
North.
You just, you don't know, you have an idea on where to go, but, like, you could get within, like, say, like, a 10-mile radius of where it could be, but it's also, like, it's secret in a sense, like, not, like, unless someone was either working there or knew someone that worked there, it would be difficult to find it on your own.
Can you tell us?
Do we know if there's like a...
Oh, but no, did you ask Uyong the details, or?
I did. He was kind of curt about it all.
Okay, yeah.
I
So.
also think that, like,
Mhm.
so I had intel about the concentration camp in the north, and you had intel about people who had been
Okay.
taken south, right?
Okay, so then you would be able to definitely get them in the right area. You'll have to do like survival checks to find like the landmarks that they use once you're close enough. And you know that you would arrive there day 2 at most.
How far away are we from Mom's place?
Same thing, but like a day or 2 over here versus a day or 2 over
Alright,
here,
good.
and there's definitely 1 day in between if you
Gotcha.
wanted to go
Good.
here.
No,
so
that's good. I'm glad.
triangulating.
That means there's less of a chance that she is involved.
I mean, she was involved a week south, so.
It's fair.
If
You
we
don't
just
know.
go and say hi.
We could.
Do
Mama
you ask them
dearest.
any questions as you're making camp for the night, or?
I'm ready to go to sleep.
Okay. Who's taking first watch?
I'll take first watch.
Passed out.
Roll a perception check.
6.
Okay, and then roll a d10. Okay. You don't notice anything.
That's
One
not
second.
good.
No, it's not. Oh, you're so lucky. Well.
Is
you
it
don't-
lucky again? Goddamn.
No, that's 2 nat ones. Let me put this dice in prison.
No, keep
Let me
it.
steal this back.
I like that die.
Okay.
Don't
So
even-
you
Don't even.
notice. We'll do these colors. I like these colors. 2 large beasts coming up towards the clearing, checking you out. Do an insight check.
These like magical beasts.
Insight
What
check, that's a
happened?
13.
Well, we were in that city. now all of a sudden
They're
there's fucking
walking
magical
with
beasts all over the
purpose.
place.
Fucking unicorn.
Like they look like
Real
they
Dragon Ball?
are aggressive, but they're trying to scope
supposed to
out the
fake
best way to attack. What do
One
you
comes from
do
dragons, one comes from
in the
I'm-
6
lizards.
seconds
I'm going
before?
to hop up onto my horse,
Mhm.
or my unicorn,
Mhm.
and I'm going to cast Minor Illusion
Uh-huh.
and make a very loud sound of a bell ringing, like church bells.
Okay.
To A, wake up my compatriots,
Mhm.
and B, potentially scare off the large beast.
Did not fall out of the tree.
All right. So.
What do we roll to wake up?
No, you just wake
And
up.
then I'll use my
That's-
bonus
I'm
action
a
to
heavy sleeper.
have the lance in my hand.
You can
Nice.
roll to see if you wake up. Get a
One
one, you don't wake
second.
up.
That'd be nice. Don't wake up forever.
Just
Okay.
ever.
So
Just like,
here's none of them
you're
are
actually in a coma
intimidated.
now.
But you're able to learn from that like these are highly aggressive beasts. And as they come out into the clearing to start, and like I'm just saying, come out as in like they just break the tree line. They're not actually moving out of their 5-foot cube.
Mm-hmm.
It's an owl bear or 2 owl bears that are looking very, very hungry tonight.
Fuck you.
Let's roll for initiative.
2.
Jesus.
6.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah, this size, we're just gonna put you over there for now. And we're gonna use whatever one of these rolls the best.
What did you get, Franz?
6.
Okay, what'd you get?
24.
somehow still not last.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. There's only 2 of them, maybe 4. Because I wasn't counting how many dice rolls Kelly was doing.
Give me 1 second. That's your name. Alright, first up, Ash. You are suddenly woken from your sleep. And you see, as you're, all cozy up in your tree, these 2 owl bears just come rushing towards, the clearing.
Alright.
They don't care about no fire.
From my perch,
Uh-huh.
can I release an arrow?
How are you releasing it? You just like dropping them like?
Yeah, just like on the floor. No.
Yeah, because I imagine, like, you guys are well-traveled. You would have a...
Hello,
way-
Diamond
After
Drake.
Lucky.
Hello.
Hello. No, after Lucky, he like literally keeps the bow hung like where he can just like immediately take someone down because he's done.
Yep.
Fucking Lucky.
Especially if it's
Yeah.
lucky.
But like both in the like back of the knees. Like,
Yeah.
that's like,
Do you want to give her a quick recap on Lucky?
Sorry, Lucky is an NPC that turned into literally one of the people that just kind of hangs around with us, but he's a druid who likes to change into a corgi.
Or he was like a golden retriever.
Yeah.
Golden retriever.
Corgi would be a good
who
choice.
like was a dog when he met us and like pretended to be our friend and then tried to steal all of our stuff, but then we caught him. But he was actually a friend from when during
And he tried to
Ash's
steal all our stuff while we were
college
fighting
days.
other things.
Yeah.
We got like attacked by like some tigers or something, and then he was like, "Now is a good time to steal your stuff."
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Yep.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Alright.
Respect.
Not successful.
Ed has just been kind of a recurring NPC
Okay.
while we're in the
So-
city.
So when things happen at night, we
Yeah.
just remember Lucky.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna,
Mhm.
we're gonna.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to reel a snare and then go down the tree. For
Okay.
My movement. That's cool.
If you want, I'm gonna say if you want to land, like you're gonna have to do an acrobatics check
That's
just to
fine.
climb down.
That's cool. Does 5e have advantage for height?
No,
No.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
it's a good question to ask.
Mhm.
That's a good roll.
It is a good roll. That's gonna be 21.
That's gonna hit. Which one are you going for?
Which one's bigger?
They both seem pretty the same.
The one on the left.
Okay, so the D10.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Fuck their shit. Fuck their shit. Yeah.
What is that?
One.
Well,
Plus anything?
Nope, it's a bow. You don't get
No,
any
you're-
additions.
Your
Your
dexterity.
dex.
Do you really?
Yeah.
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 Fine.
Things I should not assume. In that case, it's a 5.
Okay. You and then make your acrobatics check to get down from the tree.
17.
Okay, yeah, you safely make it down to the ground. Do
18.
you have any bonus actions?
What
That
kind
you
of
would
bow
like
are
to-
you using?
Short bow?
Alright. Next time roll a d6.
No, I was using a long bow. I'm sorry.
Oh, then
I
you're
saw
fine.
a short bow
Then you're
and
okay.
it was not. Yeah.
My bad.
all
Alright,
good.
so
Short swords. I saw. It's fine.
Short swords, long
I have short
bows.
swords, long bow.
Yeah.
It's
They
fine.
should really kind of mix those up, right? You know, short
yep.
quarter
Yeah,
staff,
sorry.
half staff.
Okay,
Can I have
yeah.
a full
so
staff?
I am down off the tree.
2, 3, 4, 5. Enraged because it is its turn next. It
Alright.
hauls ass to you and it makes a big ol' swipe with its claw.
I hate to be that guy. Is she
What?
prone? She
No,
was
no,
sleeping.
she.
Okay, she got up.
No, she climbed down.
Oh,
out
that's
of the tree.
that's. I thought that was.
No,
she's
I'm
over
I
here.
thought it was favor. Good. Good.
So yes,
It doesn't
that
have
is
advantage.
a 12 to hit. Does that hit you?
Me.
With
No.
its swipe, and then it goes in and tries to bite you with its beak.
Okay.
That's not one. It bites its tongue.
No.
This owl bear just wants some points. Like I want to
Jesus.
feed it now. Like if we
it
had
bites
more
its tongue
rabbits.
and it takes a little bit of damage, but
No
it
blood coming out of the mouth.
I do that in character. I'm just like, oh.
Yep.
Are
So
owlbears sentient?
that one is angry at that. This one is gonna rush up to you because you're a big scary thing that made noise. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then what's its movement? It's either gonna dash
I think
or...
it's got 30 or 35.
It's got 40,
40,
so it
good.
doesn't have to dash.
Good.
And it's going to do the same thing, swipe at you and then make a attack with its beak. So on the swipe, that's a 10, that's not going to do it. With the beak, that is a 17. Does that hit you?
Yes, 17 is my armor class.
Okay. Oof.
It's biting me, right? Not the
Oof.
not the unicorn.
It's biting you, and
Good.
it gets you for 15 piercing damage.
Nice.
Ouch.
It did max damage.
Nice.
Good job, owlbear.
Yep.
All
On the
right.
bright side, that was the one that does 1d10 instead of 2d8. So.
All right.
Next up, we have. Oh, whoops! I should have swapped those. So this one comes out, and
is
it's
there a
going to be
third one?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Don't I get an opportunity attack?
Oh no.
No, we're gonna
Yeah.
throw your dice away.
No. But like literally, it was like they would have
You'd
just
have
come
to-
over here. They were
It'd
going to
have
hit. You were
to
going to
pass
hit one of
within
them.
5.
So one of them would. So yeah, she would get an opportunity attack.
Cool.
I was like, because what I was gonna say was it wasn't going to walk in the way.
It's
of,
not gonna hit, so it's
Okay.
a 12.
No, owlbears have really low ACs.
Yeah, but not that low. But it's very close.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So yeah.
Never just say not gonna hit. Always read out loud whatever your roll is.
Yep. And it's gonna do the same thing. Swipe and beak. Swipe is a 19. Beak
hits.
is a 18.
Wow.
Ow.
Oof.
Dang.
Jesus.
We's getting fucked.
Well, it doesn't help that you're the only they get to go like 3 in a row at the
Yeah.
lineup. So.
Yikes.
So the claws are 13 damage.
Okay.
The beak is. Oh my god! It max damage. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So that's
You're gonna
15.
kill
I
it?
have two health remaining.
Fuck.
So.
So you're watching.
They have somehow not the unicorn's fine though. Woo!
Yeah, but no, because like you're the thing that made the
Yeah.
noise, so they're going.
Well,
at
I was
you.
making like a bell noise like in the middle of the air, and so it's fine that they
Oh, okay.
they saw this from me, but I don't know how smart owlbears are.
I mean, they have a 3.
It's fine. They roll good, and
but,
that's okay.
Yeah.
I can heal myself 66 or 76 as a bonus action, and I'm gonna do it.
Alright, good.
As long as I don't get hit by the 4th owlbear.
No, fourth owlbear.
Uh,
Fourth owlbear is pissed at me, so I think we're okay on that one.
Second.
4? I thought there was only 3.
I was joking,
Oh,
like if
yeah,
the 4th
but
comes
the
out
fourth
and it
one
comes
comes
in
out. Yeah, but then
ravages
she was like
me.
4th.
I
I was like,
gotcha.
Tell me.
No, we only have 3.
5, 10,
I'll take an opportunity attack on my brother.
15, 20, 25. So he stays in the owlbear's melee range. And he reaches up and grabs your arm, and you feel yourself heal for 30.
Really?
As he expends.
Wow. Well, then I guess I don't need to do 76.
Not
Not 7d6. 7.
You just gotta
and
do
you
a nice
also,
hand dice.
you also feel a little bit
Jack with
better.
your hands.
In the sense, like, a little bit more, like, emboldened,
Okay.
because he just has this aura of protection or something.
Okay.
But yeah, you get, +2 on saves.
Okay.
Anyone within 10 feet of him. So,
All right.
that's
well,
what happens.
If an owlbear for some reason makes me make a saving throw, I'm ready.
Yeah, or if it
That
wants
was
to
just
grapple
that was
you.
just a joke.
Yeah. Franz, you're up.
Cool. First, Diamond Drake. Are you like a diamond dragon? Like a drake like dragon? Or are you Diamond Drake like the singer? Like a fully diamond drake?
Anyways,
It's very important. That's actually how I'm using my
good
turn.
question to ask when people are rolling their dice, maybe. instead of-
Speaking as a free action. Hello.
Crying is a free action as well. My favorite.
Cool. I'm going to use my Phantasmal Force Candle on this little fucker.
Okay, describe the,
He needs to make a intelligence saving throw first.
that's not his strong suit. 1 second. Yeah, he crit fails that.
Cool. So he's going to he's in his mind. It's going to swap. within 10 feet who is an owlbear and who is not an owlbear.
Shit.
So within 10 feet, owlbear, 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 not an owlbear. And in fact, this now looks like Maggie on a horse.
Can you describe Phantasmal Force?
Who's Maggie? Maggie.
Yeah.
I love that as Maggie on the horse. Actually, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's actually just it's changed. You craft an illusion that takes root in the mind of a creature that you can see within range. A target must make blah blah blah.
He's very tired.
On a failed save, you create a phantasmal object, creature, or other visible phenomenon of your choice that is no larger than a 10-foot cube that is perceivable only to the target for the duration. It's up to a minute and its concentration.
Yeah, you actually are surprisingly. There's a lot in a 10-foot cube. Or, yeah. So I think. Are you going for?
What spell is this again?
Phantasmal
One,
Force.
two,
Okay,
three,
that's a good
four.
spell.
It is.
Yeah. So do you want him to proceed? Oh yeah. So this one over here, right?
Yep. So pretty much, if imagine like everything in the cube is just like, I imagine it's just like mirrored, like everything
Yeah.
switches.
So anything that it sees.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So it perceives us as owlbears. Everyone perceives owlbears as us.
Yeah. When we did our shopping day.
Yeah.
I bought
Okay.
this shear that
So that
really
is
good
the
time to
20
cast
that's
it.
forced?
I would've did it all
No,
that
not the
together.
D20, the
Oh,
middle
D12.
one.
Next
Sorry.
turn.
Okay.
Sorry.
Next
So
turn.
it's not its turn.
Yeah.
But we'll deal with that when it's time. M, your turn.
All right. So I am going to bonus action heal myself for 2d6.
Okay.
6. So I go back up to 38.
Remember, the D12 perceives you as potentially friendly.
And
He
then
doesn't know that.
I am going to. Yes, I do not know that.
I didn't. You saw me light a candle.
I am going to. Can I free action like taunt the owlbears to keep attacking me?
Yeah, do a performance check.
All right. Ooh, performance. That's charisma based. I'm not proficient, but I am
Tell
charismatic.
me how you're trying
I'm
to.
banging it with my lance while casting mirror image.
I'm just trying to understand how it would work with that. Okay.
That's cocked.
So I will tell you how that works. Basically,
12.
Yeah,
17.
it'll rationalize why it won't work, but what I'm saying is if you're doing mirror image, then
Mhm.
it's going to have disadvantage to attack. Oh, but it's not going to attack you, so never mind.
Yeah. So 17 is the performance check.
Okay, and you're trying to convince it to attack.
I'm trying to convince all the owlbears, like, look at me, come attack me, something
Okay.
along those lines. And then I cast mirror image, so there are three copies of me pop up, and because it's a self cast, my unicorn comes with it, so there's 3 copies of the unicorn as well, which is kind of neat. And each time a creature attacks me, that you have to roll a d20 to see if it hits one of my copies instead. 6 or higher if I have 3, 8 or higher if I have 2, 11 or higher if I hit. If there's only one left, so there's
Crown Madness.
there's 3 other ones, and then yeah. So
Yeah, I'm just confused. Here's what's killing me right now. Are the mirror images going to be more owlbears? Because pretty much every time it looks at you...
only to the Phantasmal Force. That's up for you to decide.
Yes, okay, yeah.
But to the
in my
other
head.
ones, it doesn't matter. And I
Yep.
will say that mirror image, it says it 3 copies appear, but they don't appear in space. So I always kind of imagine it more like I'm like a big blur of there's
Yep.
which one am I? You know what I mean? But they're all overlapping. You know what I mean? That's why I always imagine mirror image to be
when you click and drag Windows 98.
Exactly. That's what mirror image is.
Yeah.
More than there's
Narrow.
it's not like invoke duplicity where there's
Yeah.
I can control them and run. They're all running around and stuff.
If it helps, Phantasmal Force essentially created a new reality for the creature. They might
Yeah.
not even see the mirror image.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just that was an interesting combo,
Yeah.
but as a DM I was like, what am I gonna do?
It's okay, I'm about to make it more complicated.
Yay!
I'm about to have some fun.
Yeah, it's
After
your turn.
Dragonborn goes.
Okay, is that far one within 30 feet?
Yes. Each square is 5
It's 5, yeah. I just want to make sure you could read it diagonally too.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Suggestion on the far one.
Does it have to have a minimum intelligence for that?
I don't know. Attack, save, wisdom? Is
No.
that what I'm looking at?
Suggestion.
It has to be able to understand her.
Yeah.
Hear and understand you.
So it doesn't
Oh.
understand you, so you won't be able to suggest that.
Ah, dang! This whole
I know.
time I've been planning for that. No.
Classic.
Try
That happens to
again.
everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all good.
You can suggest the unicorn to do something.
You
Yeah.
actually
you
could.
could.
with your
going
horn.
to use.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so can I run and then use a cantrip on them?
I mean,
Or
you
is
can,
that-
but you don't necessarily. Which one? Are you doing that one?
Yeah, I was thinking this one.
Okay. So yeah, you could. So you probably can only attack one of the closer ones.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't have enough movement to get to them without invoking attack of opportunity from these. Because if you go in their range and then out of their range, then you're going to they're gonna get a swipe on you.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the one that's not under the illusion.
Okay, you wouldn't know,
I'll cast you.
but
Oh,
this
okay.
one's
yeah, the closest
closer,
one.
so it would make sense for you to get
And
that.
I'm going to use Shocking Grasp.
Okay, describe the spell.
Lightning springs from your hand to deliver a shock to a creature you try to touch.
Mhm.
Make a melee spell attack against the target. You have the advantage on the attack roll if the target is wearing armor made of metal.
Okay.
On a hit, the target takes 1d8 lightning damage, and it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Okay, so you're going to make a spell attack, add your proficiency,
And
and oh, you got
level
the,
2d8.
oh, yes, okay, so that's fine. So roll the d20. Oh.
Critical failure.
No.
It's been
It's
a
in
while
character.
it's been a while since you used it. Roll a d4. You're going to shock yourself a little bit with this.
No. Sad.
So you watch. She's a little groggy. Wow, there's a whole dice tray. It's okay. I'll get another
Most
d4 to
sisterly
find it.
things said.
I'm really in character. What can
So
I say?
you watch Favor. It's okay. I got one here. We'll find it later.
You have so many dice on this floor hidden
yeah.
in the various cracks and corners.
I mean, on the bright side, that's all you hit yourself with.
Oh, okay. It's
So
another one.
yeah, you
Yeah.
watch Favor. She like kind of scrambles up. You still have the frostiness, and you forgot that you made a frosty thing. And even though you're used to walking on ice, you're just so out of it. And you go to Shocking Grasp him, but instead you release it too soon, and you just get yourself.
So
And I don't get it
her
at all.
childlike nature is confirmed for Ash. Now. Oh no, wait. Who is she going after? Not the one
black
next to me. The black one. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. I don't see it. I
Yeah.
don't care.
I think there's too much going on.
No, yeah.
It's
But
a
I thought that she'd come up
clusterfuck
to
of-
my guy. That's what had happened, and she didn't, and that's fine.
Yeah, there's
Let's
like a
go.
bunch of animals in that area.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, yes, Ash, it is your turn.
All right. So I'm gonna cast Crown of Madness. On the
Fuck.
rock up here.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Oh
with
shit!
all
No,
this
is it a
in-
humanoid? No. Okay.
See,
Then I'm
it
just gonna
happens
slash
to
and
everyone.
kill.
Slash and kill.
Slash and kill.
Slash
Yeah,
and go,
it's a
baby.
large monstrosity.
Wait, really?
Uh,
Owlbears are monstrosities?
Mhm.
They're not beasts? That's interesting.
All right. So I'm gonna do.
I've
Yeah.
really played owlbears
So I-
before. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Dropped my bow, pulling my short swords.
Mm-hmm.
And attacking with the first hand. Oh
What is it? Is it a 1?
no, close but no. 8.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Do you have a
figured.
second attack or a
I
bonus?
don't. No. So I do have a bonus action if I hit,
Mhm.
which I didn't.
As a bard, you get bonus actions, by the way, that are actually useful, not to gain your character.
Bardic inspiration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. Bardic inspiration is.
I say that because I always forget. So
I forget that it's a bonus action.
Mhm.
My college are you, bard?
Glamour. Whispers.
I thought you were
No,
Glamour.
Whisper has psychic blades, which
Oh,
you can do,
Whisper.
but that's when you hit as well, right?
Yeah, Feminist Blades is a thing that I can do when I hit.
Mhm.
Not before.
Oh, I was thinking when you're with the hit, when you hit is the like green flame blade and stuff like that.
Mm.
So I can poison my blades, but only if they hit.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So I do nothing. I whiff.
Mm.
Oh wait, no. And this inspiration. Who wants an inspiration? Who need,
You
need
can
an
inspire
inspiration.
anyone besides yourself.
You get
Did
an
she miss the
inspiration.
shocking grass?
She
yeah,
did.
I
Yeah.
shocked myself.
She nat one.
Oh no.
First roll of the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks.
So you have a D6 to add in the next 10 minutes to any roll.
Mhm.
You can add it before or after you roll the dice, but not after the DM has told you whether or not you've passed or failed.
Okay.
Okay, next up is that D10 that just like you missed it and it ducked out of the way and it's ready to fuck you up.
hitting my
It's ready to fuck me up.
Yeah, you know what? You are. I forgot about that.
I was just.
No, it's
I'm just
true.
trying to help out my friends.
It's okay. I have a really high AC, so
and I have mirror
and I'm the
image.
one that hit that one. So
No,
I
you
wonder
did
if
definitely.
Yeah, you do have a high AC.
Yeah, but you rolled a really high thing and they rolled a really low.
Oh,
light.
okay.
So
Alright.
it is going to
Gotcha.
run attack of opportunity.
Opportunity attack. You can venomous blades. You can't venomous blades on this because it's a bonus action.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
19.
Yep, hits.
8.
Okay.
Nice.
You doubled its damage. Still looking healthy, but. And now it is going to make 2 swipey attacks at you, M.
Alright.
With disadvantage?
No? Oh, you have to just roll a d20 first.
Okay, I got a 12.
So the first d20, that means it does hit a mirror image.
Okay, and it rolled a 4 plus.
So that misses, so it doesn't break the
Right.
the image.
That was the important thing. And then I'm going to roll another d20 for its second attack. That's a 13.
A 13 doesn't hit. Oh wait, was the 13 just to hit what it hits?
What it hits. Or who it hits.
So 13 goes for one of my mirror images.
Okay, so let's see if it breaks the illusion. That's a 3.
So no, it does not. The copy's armors are only 12, so they're not as high as my AC.
Yep. Next up is the Phantasmal Forced Owlbear.
Fuck yeah.
And just because this one moved over real quick, it's going to turn and swipe and bite. So that is 14, so that's going to hit. And then, so double 14 is going to hit the shit out of this owlbear. It's going to get pissed.
Oh no, it's gonna smell bad in our campsite.
You're about to get a lot of owlbear stew. So the first attack
Yes.
does 10 damage. The second attack
Ooh.
does... Holy shit, this is getting 15, so 25 total damage.
Fran's doing damage with his stuff even when he's not attacking.
Yep.
I know, I'm
Okay,
just a
so-
Wunderkind.
It is looking not well. This
For the
one over here.
owlbears?
The D10 is just got fucked up by his friend.
So the D10 looks like it's the most wounded.
Yeah, it's
Alright,
it's
but
the only
Franz
one that's
goes
taken
Franz
damage.
goes before me, so
Yep.
it doesn't really matter.
And then the D20 is also going to make 2 attacks at M.
Are you
The copy,
red?
that's a 3.
Me?
I'm
3
red.
hits me.
I'm the
Okay,
gold die.
so let's
You're the
see.
gold die.
It crit.
Oh.
Okay, so casting shield isn't gonna save me here, so
Yeah, it's unless
So-
your AC
alright.
will be a 27 with that.
no. So
Okay.
go ahead and
So it makes its claw attack. 6, 10. So that's 15 on the claw attack.
alright, nice.
And then let's roll to see if it hits with the beak attack. That's a 4.
So 4 does hit me again, so this one just
Okay.
found the right one.
Yep, but let's see if it hits you a second time. That's a 22.
I'm not gonna cast shield because it's the last attack before my turn, so I might as well just take the damage and cast shield next turn when there's gonna be a bunch on me still.
Mm-hmm. That is an additional, I think 8, but let me double check that. Yeah, 8 damage.
8 damage, alright. I'm down to 15 again.
Dope.
Oh, okay.
Alright, next up is Tomas. And he sees that he wants to help you, but he also sees that like he can't really get out of the way. Or nah, he's gonna finish off the one in front of him because he can
Alright.
tell it's not looking that
What
great.
does Tomas wield?
Big ass fucking sword.
Alright, he swings this,
Great sword.
broadsword or
Oh.
whatever.
I really hope his mods are good.
And he is Paladin.
Yeah, that is a +7. That's a 10 still, so that's not gonna do it. But he does
He's
it
a
again.
paladin, he gets his tag
Okay,
twice.
second time he gets.
Alright.
So that is a
So I used 2 of my
So
dice
that
before, so I
is-
still have 5. 5d6 is gonna average to heal
4, so that's 13, and then he's going to Divine Smite.
15, so I can burn all of them.
Okay. So he just, in one fell swoop, like he misses with the first one, then he does his jab, and then, like it's his signature move, swipe, stab, Divine Smite.
Dope.
And he just murks this owlbear. So the D10 just falls to the ground.
That's 1 of 3,
One of
correct?
3.
Okay.
Alright, next up, Franz.
Cool, I'm gonna move up and attack the D20.
Okay.
My owl is gonna poop on the owlbear's head. Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
Dope. Let's see, that's 8.
Ooh, you're doing a D8 on your normal damage die now?
I always do a D8 on my normal damage.
What do you swing with?
Rapier.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was just trying to remember.
11, 16, 23, 28 damage.
Nice.
You knock it. Do you knock it? No, you don't knock it prone. You almost do. You're almost able to like push it over, but at the last second.
It was a booming blade, by the way, and then I'm gonna disengage and move back.
The D20.
5
Sorry,
feet.
what is it? 28, 29.
28 damage,
28.
booming blade. So if it moves, it'll
Sounds
take
good.
fun damage.
You are up.
I have a question with the lance.
Mm-hmm.
It says I have disadvantage to attack a target within 5 feet of me.
Mm-hmm.
So does that count when I'm on the horse, or is that only because like I'm just trying to also lance requires 2 hands to wield when you aren't mounted. So are they within,
Like they're also large. Like if it was
okay.
if they were a small
all right,
creature,
fair
then
enough.
yes.
Yes.
Even and for the record, I think that even
All right,
medium.
I'll just have to take the disadvantage because as I could use my bonus action to turn it into something else, but I'm not because I want to. I'm going to use the 5d6 of healing for myself. So that's going to be 12 plus 6. So that's 18 healing.
Okay.
So that puts me back up to 33. All right. And then I will use my action to disadvantage strike the 2 that. Or I'll do 1 strike on the one. Well, one is. Was he knocked prone? The other. Okay, no.
Yeah.
All right, so I disadvantage. I'm gonna do 1 attack on that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Double 4s. It's still 4 plus 9, so it is 13.
Okay, that's gonna hit.
So wow. Well, I guess that makes it not too hard to hit. And Lance does a D12 plus my modifier, which is 6. So it does 9 damage.
Okay, on the D12, I forgot which one you.
Yeah, the one that was hurt.
Then that's the D20.
Yeah.
So then, what's that? You said 9?
Yeah. Does that kill him?
Nope.
All right,
He's
then.
just starting to look bloodied.
All right, we'll stab him again with the lance.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. I'll re-roll that one. That one's a 4 though. Okay, so it's another 13.
Okay.
So rolling these 4s, which is just enough to hit.
Yeah.
And we'll roll another D12. I've never rolled my new D12 first, so we'll do that one. 2 plus 9. Or plus 6, so 8 damage. So
got it.
So stabby stab
Yep.
on that one, and then I will wait it out.
Okay. Favor.
Okay. So.
Don't beef it.
You
You tried really hard, and then you watched the rest of the party do a much better job.
Yeah. So
But maybe you could finish it off.
I really want to. So I'm going to use Ray of Frost. Hear me out. Ray of Frost. I'm going to use my Careful spell. So 1 sorcery point. So I'm gonna blank that. To protect white die, blue die, gold die.
What's the Ray of Frost? Isn't it a line?
Yeah, it's a line.
Okay, so.
Oh wait, it's because it's a 10-foot radius.
Is it cone?
Or is it like
No.
that? You could nudge yourself over and here. Let
A
me see.
frigid beam towards a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against target. 1d8. And their thing is reduced by 10.
It's just a beam.
Yeah.
So
I want to get those 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had to protect them.
Nope. It's
Okay.
it's just a
Yeah.
straight
So
through.
I'm gonna do that, and
Yep.
then hold on. So I'm gonna take that back, and
Yep.
then here it says elemental affinity. When you cast a spell that deals damage of the type associated with your draconic ancestry, you can add +3.
Okay.
And I'm cold.
Yep.
Cold. So +3.
And are you casting it at a higher level? Can
It's
you?
2d6.
Right, but
Wait, no, what's the wrong one?
go to Ray of Frost. Spell's damage increases 1d8 when you reach. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's 2d8
Mm-hmm.
plus 3. Well, first, is it an attack?
It's a cantrip.
No, but like, are you attacking
is
or
an
did that
attack.
do it? Okay, so roll and add your proficiency and spellcasting
What's
modifier.
the proficiency?
Okay, even that, I know your mods, so
Okay.
you get them.
Cool.
So roll your damage 2d8. So add those 2 up and then add 3 on top of everything.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. 8. Okay. It's not enough to get it, but
Aw.
you really do.
But I'm impressed.
It's
Sad.
on death's door.
Okay, so which one is on death's door right now?
One
The
second.
D20.
8.
Okay.
It is so close. Do you have a bonus action?
Do I don't know. What
What's your breath?
breath?
Your dragon breath. Is it an? It's a bonus action, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, it's not. It's a full action. We have a Dragonborn in our party.
Right, but different dragonborns have different things. So some of them are full actions, some of them are bonus action.
I'm from the White Dragon. If that means anything to you.
Oh, so you have white scales.
Yeah.
Dude. Cool.
Oh, you could use your action. Okay, so never mind. I'm
Okay.
mistaken it. What you can do, I think it has it as
Oh, don't worry about
action, bonus action. So
Oh.
it. You just
2
just
weapon
spread out.
fighting.
Don't worry about me. I got plenty of space. Look at
Gain
this.
an additional sacrifices. Okay, so never mind.
Okay.
Or no, gain additional. Nope, never mind. All right. So next up we have Ash.
Ooh, alright. I'll move up. I'm a little bit too short to move that without knocking the mic over. But just to the D12, whichever one's closest to me.
Yeah.
Make an attack.
Mhm.
No. Not. I'm gonna try and fail
Well,
again.
What is it?
It's a 9.
Yep. That's not gonna do it.
But I'm gonna use my bonus action to do action surge
Nice.
and hit
Okay.
with a 20.
Surprisingly, that does
5.
not. No, I'm kidding. It does hit.
Trying to play with me.
I thought I was
The owlbear
inspired.
casts shield.
Oh no, it's not to a
It's
damage
too late.
roll though.
Oh, it's not?
It's only to an attack or save or
Okay.
something like that.
I am gonna use venomous blades.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Just tell me the total when it's all done.
6, 10, 14.
Yeah, it does not like that.
Did you do that to the healthy one, the D12?
Yeah, so
Yep.
that was the one that was closest.
With Phantasmal Force, do they get to do a save at the end of their turn?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I think it's with that one. It's make like a check to break it. But I think with Phantasmal Force, it doesn't like.
So it can use its action to examine the phantasm.
Oh, it's yeah.
Yeah. And
However,
But I think whatever it would have investigated is now dead now. So
Yeah.
all it's going to do is make an attack at the other owl bear.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh
or-
no! I was just
Oh
gonna say
no,
with.
you or what? No, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think with Phantasmal Force, it isn't like forced to do anything. Like you get to just role play this beast as like it's kind of seeing
Oh.
illusions, right? It's not like a compelled to do anything particular.
no, but I
Right.
created such an
yeah,
illusion in its
yeah,
mind.
exactly. So
Yeah.
but she gets to take that illusion and do with it what
Yeah.
she wants.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But the thing is, they came in looking to murder you,
Yeah.
and he turned the owl bears to look like you.
Yes.
So
Smart plays by Franz.
Yeah,
Murder,
the
murder.
D12 is going to make a big old swipe with his beak. That's going to be enough. And it literally was so low that
It just bites into its buddy and
Yep.
tastes owlbear blood for the first time. Now you have to put it down.
Yeah, I end the spell, and in its beak is
Oh,
its buddy.
and you get to watch with great
You gotta be
like
evil,
intimacy
man.
as it and then its eyes
They're a
goes
large
from now to-
monstrosity.
It's fair.
like you just
Also, it's
watch
cruel.
it realize how it murdered its buddy.
It bit its own tongue and now
And
it's
then
killed
you
its
could-
friend.
And it blames
So
you,
it's already
and it's
tastes
like
all
you're
bear
next.
blood.
Oh no!
And it comes
Is
marching
it
over.
moving? I'll take my attack of opportunity.
It's not leaving
Oh,
your.
it isn't? Alright, sorry.
And it's going to make a swipe attack at you. Does a 13 hit?
I have AC of 15.
Okay, so no. Tomas is up next. And he comes over here. Gonna make his swipe, stab, smite. That is, I think he gets a +5. Sorry, I really need to pull stuff up.
Okay.
No, that's gonna hit. So 1 hit, 2 hit. So 1 second. 7, 10, 17, 22, 24.
Damn.
Paladin strong.
Yup.
Damn.
They
And
do-
this one's not looking too good. Franz, you're up.
I'm gonna go up to it and
Prepare to be
boom
murdered.
and blade it.
Yup.
Does a 26 hit?
As if
No.
it doesn't hit.
I mean, you gotta check sometimes. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes people, like, when they're, like, you know, when an animal's cornered, shit gets weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's dead.
Yeah, it's gonna take some. 14, 18, 22, 27.
Yeah, it's done diddly dead.
Cool.
Bam. You saw?
Okay, I go
Right.
immediately back to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, also, yes.
So
That
So
happens
you
in-
watch that just murder the shit out of the owlbears. Like, okay, job's done.
Who's taking second watch?
I'm already asleep.
I
Sure
will
as
take
hell ain't
second
me.
watch,
You won't, or you
I will.
All right, thank you.
and I will skin these. I'll attempt,
Mm.
probably badly, to skin these owlbears.
Okay.
And, like, you know, turn them into meats.
Okay. Do a survival check.
1 or 3?
3. One for each one.
Okay. 16.
Okay, you're able to get 5 days rations worth out of for all 3 of you out of the first owlbear.
Should I ask to freeze it so that it's like it's preserved for longer?
Will it stay frozen?
Maybe.
Will it stay frozen?
Or we can salt the hell out of it.
Yeah.
That would also work.
Cool.
It could help.
That's why you put things in freezers, huh?
What's a freezer?
What?
What's a freezer?
Oh, sorry, that was meta.
Fair enough.
No, okay, so next one is 9.
You get like 2 days worth of rations for all of you. Because it's like a big ass animal, so.
And then another 16.
Okay, so yeah, another 5.
Or do I get skins? 2 skins, probably.
Yeah, 2 skins. The other one you really butchered. It looks
Butchered,
like that, it looks like anytime you Google bad taxidermy.
Yeah. Alright.
Yo. Here's the thing, that would take a long time to do though, so.
How long would it take?
I almost want to say Ash offers to take watch.
No, I mean,
But
he
all
did
you
offer
do-
to take the next watch.
Right, but what I'm
Second
saying is
watch.
like you're not like watching, you're just awake,
Yeah.
skinning things.
Yeah. I mean, that's
So-
what, yeah. He's awake,
Yup,
you know.
Doing it.
Yeah, that's it.
yup. Roll a d20.
Nat 1.
Okay,
It
that deserves something.
does. It does. I
Another
agree.
owlbear comes out of the woods.
No. Let me just pull up the stats. I wasn't expecting to do this one, but it's too good to not
It
to.
is, yeah. I agree.
You don't hear it,
That's
but
fine.
you feel it.
Like a fish in the water.
1 second, it's gonna happen. I have to take a picture. Okay. Does a
Probably.
let's see, 17 hit?
No.
Okay. A wolf comes busting ass out. That's just 1 second. You're down here. Everyone's sleeping somewhere,
Yeah.
and sinks its teeth into you with your armor.
Handling. That is my reaction.
So
You know, as they say in D&D, you just gotta roll with it, right?
You can.
Okay. Let's do it.
It's your action.
I know. I'm aware.
What are you doing?
Come
I'm
on.
rolling animal handling.
Come
Okay,
on.
alright.
Come on.
Ah! Was have been 17, and instead it is a 7.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It's cool.
Are any of
Dildo.
us awake
You're-
or experiencing this?
I don't think so.
I don't think I would even wake you up, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Unless you guys would
I
wake
mean,
up at
it's
a rest.
biting her. Is the wolf making a sound? I mean,
It's
Um,
growling.
Yeah, like it's growling, but it's not like it's not very loud.
all right, your choice.
I don't care. I
Yeah,
can take
'cause
care
Not
of
it's-
you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it's just like I don't wake up every time my dog growls. I wake up when it's
You-
puking.
Are
Apparently.
you in the middle of the forest without a dog, listening to dogs growl? You're fine.
mean,
You're
I'm just
A-okay. It's
So it's
totally up
we're
to
just gonna
you.
go the wolf you
Yeah,
until
that's
you
fine.
decide to wake him up. The wolf it jumps it pops back down.
Yeah.
Make a you're looking at it. Make a insight check on it.
Now one.
Oh my God.
This is the day.
You think maybe you can make it nice again?
Yeah. I mean, that's what
But
he was thinking anyway.
in character, but it's dripping. It's feral. It might have rabies. And
That's
it's
fine.
going to make another bite at you.
It's cool.
That's an 18 on the dice.
Yeah, okay. It hits.
All right, so that is give my D4 back.
Mhm.
3, 7, 9 damage.
Jeez. Alright.
It's 2d4 plus 2 and it
No,
rolled
yeah,
like
it's
the
fine.
high. Yeah.
It's alright, it's alright.
Your turn.
Alright, I'm handling again. This one's better, but not a nat 20, which is probably what I need. 19.
Okay. How are you doing this? Trying to pet it?
So Ash knows more about animals than Leia does.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelly knows more about animals than Leia does. So how would you do that?
I mean, you can win animals over with food.
Yes, I am like literally chopping up a bugbear right now. So
Bugbear. That's
Owlbear.
cannibalism. Not really cannibalism, but
So I'm gonna take
humanoid.
I don't know, liver, whatever stuff I set aside that we weren't gonna preserve and chuck it
Okay.
in front of the wolf.
It gobbles it up. And I think at this point roll a perception check because it is scuffling around a lot of. You too.
We can't make perception checks. We're asleep. We just.
Or
have
your
a-
passive perception.
Mine's 11.
But
19.
Your passive perception is 19.
Yeah, it's your whatever your perception is plus 10.
No,
No.
it's just your wisdom mod plus
Yeah.
10.
Pretty sure it was perception.
Maybe you could totally be right. I might be wrong.
yeah, because I always thought it was.
I also thought it was that though.
Yeah, 10 plus your wisdom.
Yep,
mod.
so to determine whether such a creature notices, the GM compares your dexterity stealth check with the creature's passive perception, wisdom score, which equals 10 plus,
Yeah.
as well as any bonuses or penalties.
Right, so it's 10 plus your wisdom
Mine.
mod.
Wisdom thought. Yeah.
My
Okay.
perception score, so you do any bonuses or penalties.
Oh, we're
Well,
definitely
that's which.
we're definitely reading the same thing differently.
Yeah.
Let me look. It's on page 175 of our handbooks.
All modifiers that normally apply to the check. Passive perception is a special kind of ability that doesn't involve die rolls, so check can represent the average result of it. Here's that determines.
So are you proficient in perception?
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh.
most people don't choose.
Things
Yeah.
that I
So
did not know.
for the longest time,
Yeah.
I've always man,
Yeah. No.
passive perception is everyone just has a weird similar baseline because then the highest everyone just has a baseline of 15 as long as they
Yeah.
have their wisdom is up. That doesn't make sense if especially if I'm proficient in it. So
No,
yeah,
proficiency is yes. That
I have a
affects it.
19.
Yes. Okay, so you are able. You wake up as this rabid, and with your passive perception, this is a fucking rabid wolf that you're trying to. There's a fire going and it attacks. This is Old Yeller. Watch the end of the movie. This is what you have right now.
Yeah, no, and Ash is like,
And you-
gonna make friends.
So I'm gonna add you into the mix. So it's gonna go wolf.
Whatever, I'll kill this
Now
wolf if I have
you
to.
that, but wolf has to go.
Do you want initiative?
No, because you it's gonna go wolf, Franz, Leia.
Does
Okay.
11 passive perception?
I don't
Wake
think
up?
not. I was gonna say it's probably gonna be 13, 14
Okay.
unless someone wakes you up. Not gonna do well enough to hit you. So you watch it lunge for Leia again.
Now it's lunge to me again. We'll go full death. It's fine. Franz will probably kill it in one blow.
So I'm like, fuck, and I just saunter over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Silva does a 21 hit.
Yes.
So I'm like, fuck, man, booming blade. I'm so groggy and tired. Probably have
Moving blade will wake y'all up.
That's if it moves, right?
So that's a 1. Those 7. 2, 7, 10, 13, 18 damage.
Kills it. One swipe, done.
Okay, I'm like,
But you wake up as you hear the wolf just yelp.
you go, "Where?" And
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck, and I just lay back down.
Do you say anything or?
What time is it?
It's almost dawn when this happens.
I guess I'll pull the wolf over and try to skin that one too.
Please don't eat it.
Oh, please don't eat it. Okay.
Rabid wolf! It's fucking
Hello.
rabid! You will die if you eat this.
You won't die. I saw that show.
Okay, I know that. I rolled an 18 survival.
Okay.
17 survival to skin it and keep its hide.
Give me
Okay,
the hide.
yeah.
I killed it.
You're asleep.
Yep.
That was a dream.
Do a deception check. I like that.
29.
What should I roll against it?
Insight.
Okay. 17. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and everything up in the limousine.
Alright. Do you all want to talk at all, or do you want to just head off on the road?
Oh, we're awake now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. No, it's dawn. So would you go back to sleep, or would you want to?
I'm just staying up, just meditating or whatever.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
I ask, is it time to go?
Do I see the hide?
Yes.
It's dawn, so you went back to sleep. So sorry. This is I jumped the gun. So this is right before dawn, post killing wolf.
I'm
You went-
imagining you said that like in as you were like falling asleep.
Yeah, just like
And
give
I
me
was
the
like,
hide.
it was all a dream.
Yeah, and I went to bed.
And you went to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you wake up and yes, you do see the hide.
I'm gonna try to steal it.
Okay.
Oh.
That's correct. That's correct. Well, that's a nat 1. But I'm lucky.
Fuck you.
Okay, so my sleight of hand
Fuck
is plus 8. So it's a good old 12.
15.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. And the other things I don't like
Swipe it.
in party stealing.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry. Alright.
you're able to
That's-
stop them anyway. So
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Just gotta sit there in the sun for a little while. Jeez.
Damn
You
Tanner.
can't just put it in your bag. You know how gross that'll be?
What are you planning on doing? We're not staying here.
Stealing from a higher up is highly frowned upon.
Alright, so you're now the third best cleric. You're number 4.
Oh man! Oh, that was too much. Wow. It's only because you're 15.
oh yeah, he's 15.
Okay.
Young as shit.
How does Franz handle that?
Scoffs.
Nice. Do you want to talk, go over hash out any plans, or go
How
down
about some
the road?
hash browns?
Want to find some potatoes?
You can find potatoes.
No, let's
maybe.
just
I don't
let's
know.
have
I
some.
crit.
You find a single potato,
Cool.
pluck it out of the earth.
This is for me.
Yeah,
I fry up a single hash brown's worth of potato.
a single
So,
hash.
single potato's worth of hash brown, and I eat it myself. And I'm like, fuck y'all.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Diana looks a little hungry at that.
Diana, does she?
She
need
doesn't. She doesn't need
Okay,
to.
okay.
But like she looks like she wanted it. And forgot that she doesn't eat.
Getting the
enough
horn
because
right
she's
back
very-
at ya.
And then she, shakes her mane and is ready to go.
He will give you the wolf hide.
Fuck yeah.
He gets the wolf hide.
We're up north. I need to keep myself warm.
Oh, I am livid if we're up north. I'm cold.
Okay.
Mm.
I just heard livid the first
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
livid.
I was
living.
like, why? You're a cold dragon.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I hate the cold.
Oh no. That would
Stop
be
telling me
phenomenal.
what I like.
Alright.
Yep. All right. So Tomas does the same thing. Goes out, scouts, come back, and you get about half the day. You're just about considering maybe we should stop for lunch. And Tomas comes back, and he goes, so it's not what we are encountering up north, but there's something odd up ahead.
What do you mean odd?
I'm getting the feeling from my god that it's not supposed to be living, and I think that we should approach with caution. I've never seen it before.
Alright.
But
Can you describe it a little better?
yes. Thanks. I'll just go fuck myself. Anyway.
I wasn't talking to
No.
Kelly. I was talking to Thomas.
No, I was
Thomas
just
is being very vague right now.
Who's Thomas?
Tomas.
Tomas. Oh.
I like how it's been Tomas, Tobias. Any T name is close enough.
I said, what's up, Irk?
I mean, Thomas and Tomas are spelled like almost the exact same way.
So is Irk.
But one's more European.
No, Eric has an I in it.
It's like call me like Francis or something. I'm Franz.
You've called me Maggie twice today.
Yeah, but you used to be Maggie. You was never Thomas.
Yeah. Tomas goes.
I'm just kidding. I was wrong. I admit that, and hopefully I do not call him Thomas again. But I just thought it was funny that he was making such a big deal of it. Go ahead.
So Tomas goes. It looks human. You know, it's not like a zombie, but it's like it walks real slow. And,
So there's an old man walking on the road up ahead.
No,
I mean,
an old
as
man.
we've seen, old men can give us some trouble.
Yeah. He goes, my God would not be telling me
You're right.
something's
We
wrong.
need to get rid
if
of the
it was
baby
just
boomers.
Is this Brooke Santorum?
They're not watching Twitch. Don't worry. I'm just joking.
I'm sorry, Stuart.
Yeah.
I'm just.
He might agree.
Yeah.
I'm
Jesus Christ. So he goes, my God would not be telling me something's wrong if this was just an old man.
Wait, does your guy want us to
And
take
it
care
looked,
of this?
it didn't look like a man, it looked like a woman.
All right. Well, let's talk to this lady, and then we'll go from there. How's that
I
sound?
mean, I don't know how dangerous it is.
Well, let's take a look at it.
We talked
Maybe we don't
to
like
a
a.
poke you with
laser
a
ray
stick.
shooting snake yesterday, and we didn't get hurt. I think we can talk to an old lady.
Maybe we just go
As
see
they're
it.
discussing this, I just keep walking forward.
Oh yeah, we're walking and talking.
Yeah.
We do this a lot.
Yes.
When we walk and talk and
okay.
bicker
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
and forth. We do a
Bickering
lot of,
is our
we do a
primary
lot
mode of communication.
Yeah.
we do a lot of bickering while walking. It's like mom
Since-
ball walkers.
Since it
Oh.
seems like Tomas and Ash kind of want to take charge, I'll be in like the back on Diana.
It's more like Ash thinks that we should like actually just visually see the thing before we
Yeah.
Sure.
Before we like go
before we
up
are
to
like, yeah, I'm gonna come shake your hand.
No,
I
I'm
wanna
kinda
roll a
like,
perception
I don't
check.
care. Is it like clear? It's cold but clear, or is it cold and like snowing?
It's not cold at all.
It's like
Oh,
the
I
summer.
thought you got.
We're heading
Oh.
We're heading north.
Yeah.
But it's
Oh,
summer.
okay.
Yeah.
Or,
23.
No, I guess
Yeah.
it's fall.
No, it cannot. Oh.
It's fall.
Yeah, because it originally was going to be. No,
Yeah, because
no.
it's almost Franz's birthday.
September, a month away.
No,
We're- It's June. Remember, it's June.
Yeah.
No,
No, because we had this whole thing
Yes.
about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sun going down and
Yes.
we're in the
Oh, it
north,
was-
it can't be.
It was supposed to be June, but you called me out on like me saying the sun goes down at like 6 or 7. You
Yeah.
go, it's not summer if the sun goes down at 6 or 7.
She's not wrong.
It's her own world.
I know, but the worst part was like you just asked me what time it was. I was like, I don't know, fucking 6 or 7 o'clock. Here you go. We're catching up over Facebook on 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's canon.
It's fall, so it's started to you get crunchy leaves, but it's not the cold that you
That I
really
want.
like. But it's tolerable. So who did that perception check?
I did. It was 23.
Okay.
Can I make one too? And like
Yeah.
specifically,
Yeah.
like I've gotten feelings from these things
No.
from my patron before.
Yeah.
And I want to know if I'm getting anything like that.
Yep.
Ooh, what was the check?
Perception.
Well, normally I don't get a 20 unnatural in perception. I have a +1, so I rolled a.
Where's perception? I got
On your
19.
Ps.
Okay, give me one. There we go. So, what you see, Franz, and Favor, you see.
Wait, my 20 doesn't see this?
Well, you're gonna get different information.
Oh, okay.
So, and you'll see it too, but like I'm gonna give you
Okay.
something that like you specifically.
Sorry, I was just
So-
confused.
You see it's like pallid bluish skin. Like it's you don't know whether or not like it's something that started off dead or was reanimated, but it's definitely like it was a dead body that's now moving.
That's gross.
But it doesn't seem like you've encountered weak dead things before, like zombies, but it's very put together. It's solid. It looks human, with the exception that like the skin and the
Does it have
organic
claws?
material. From this distance, because you are still far away, you can't tell, but it's also because they're wearing like traveler's gloves. Just like wool, to cover, because it's fallen. It's starting to get nippy out.
Is it a ghast?
What?
Sorry.
Metagaming.
And it's got dark black hair. It's got a couple twigs in it, so it definitely does not keep itself up. But it's dressed like a human. It walks like a very, very depressed human. Just kind of like, why am I going to?
So it's Eeyore.
Eeyore human.
So just ignore it, like everyone should.
You can definitely tell. It's undead. It is a somewhat powerful undead. Not so like you definitely encountered more powerful things in the past, but you should not take it lightly. Is what you're getting from like your patron vibe.
All right.
And
Can I make a move?
What is it?
I want to
the
use
move?
chill touch on it.
Well, you're gonna have to run.
No, chill touch is not-
It's 120 feet.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I
chill
reached
touch is
that.
different
Yeah,
than
that
it used to
sounds
be in
good.
like 3 in Pathfinder.
Because it's got the word Dutch in it.
Yeah, I
in
know.
Pathfinder it's like,
That's why I was like,
I got you now, you're frozen,
this.
and then
Yeah.
in 5e it's like, boop.
I don't
Yeah.
want to get any closer.
Let me just see. 1
Okay,
second.
that's exactly
What
how
type
to
of
cast
damage?
that
here?
What
spell
type of
too,
damage
for a
is it?
character
It's
with
necromancy damage.
Okay.
So I create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range.
Mhm.
Make a ranged spell attack against creature. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 necrotic damage, and it can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn. Until then, the hand clings to the target.
Okay.
And if you hit an undead target, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls against you
Oh.
until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
That's nice.
So
mind.
are we going to surprise round it? Because you see favor.
Gotta make a dump.
Just do that.
Yeah,
So-
I'll put 2 arrows into a quiver and I'll release them.
I have a
Okay.
hand crossbow.
Pew pew.
All right. Let us roll initiative.
Do we have advantage on the strikes because it can't see us, or it's okay if we don't? I'm just
I just
trying
wanted
to.
do we
Surprise rounds are weird, and I just wanted to understand.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, let's here's the thing. Everyone roll a stealth check, because I imagine you were trying
Alright, stealth
to.
check.
17.
19.
9 or 6.
That's a 9 because the dot's on the
Okay.
bottom.
Not okay.
9 is good. 9 is better than
Sister
6.
I didn't know which
I'm
one.
really for it.
Yeah.
I'm really for that. No, it's the best.
Sorry.
This
Plus
is like
stealth?
total fam.
Plus 2, so it's 11.
And it's
Okay.
It makes me happy. It's
Alright, 19.
13.
17. Wait, for initiative or stealth?
Stealth.
Stealth.
17.
Okay. Let's. 2 of you did fail. So, you 3 will have advantage. These 2, Tomas and Favor will not.
Okay.
Alright.
So I'm gonna.
Well, it's a saving throw for chill touch, right?
Hmm.
Anyways.
Oh no. Well, it doesn't matter with that. But what
Well,
was
because
gonna
I wasn't
say?
trying to be stealthy. I was just boink.
Yep, and its passive was 13. So
Okay.
that was it.
So, got
everyone roll
advantage.
initiative.
Alright.
7.
Oh.
16.
7.
Okay, 1 second.
11.
And Ash.
Sorry, 16.
Okay.
Let's compare decks.
4.
Oh yeah, who?
5.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
you got.
if
I
you
always like to
didn't
do
have higher
whoever
dex
rolled
than me, I
higher
was
on the
gonna be
dice
real
rather than who
surprised.
has the higher dex, because I think that's like you're getting like, I don't know.
That's how I do it too.
That's
Yeah.
fine. We can.
It's the opposite in the rule book, but I think like whoever happened to roll better should
Keep
go
getting
first.
nines.
Is my thing.
Yeah, I like the roll is
fine.
like more important than the score
Mhm.
or something. At least that's the philosophy behind it.
What do you mean whoever rolled higher? 'Cause if you're at
Usually,
full-
whoever has the higher dex is who goes
Right.
first when you
Yeah.
tie. But I think that whoever rolled higher, which means whoever has the lower dex, goes first.
Oh.
Sorry, you just reminded me of last week with
What did you
Deb.
roll?
So
9.
I rolled an
I
11.
just want to tell.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going first. Well, higher than.
Wait, I have an 11 too.
Right.
We got 16s.
Oh, you got 16s. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But what were you saying about?
Last week, so in my game,
Okay.
Kelly and my wife
Oh,
rolled the
shit.
same initiative, and then Kelly had.
You said you go at the same time, so in my head it makes sense
No,
to me.
go at the same time. It's just very funny to me. That means one of you goes and the other goes, but you can choose who each time. Who is it? Kelly took that as I'll do like my action, then she can do her movement, and then she'll do her action, then I'll do my bonus action, then my movement. So it's like the most confusing thing for me as the DM that has ever happened. Like I was like, well, wait, what? You're doing a bonus action like in the middle of the zombie's turn? Like what's going on?
Anyway, who's going first? Who rolled? Okay.
Does my chill touch go first?
We're
because
surprise
I didn't,
rounding.
Oh.
So we're all going together first.
Yep.
And then we're gonna go with the thing second.
Okay, so Franz, you go first.
Cool. So this is just going to be, and we're stealth, so I have advantage. Just hand crossbow. Does a 24 hit?
Yes.
So it doesn't matter that I didn't consult you guys that I was going to do something.
The way that Kelly
Yeah.
seemed to narrate it was like we saw you raising your hand to cast a spell, because you can't just boop. You have to start doing something.
Okay.
You have your subtle spell.
Yeah, but I wasn't. I don't want to be. I don't need to be subtle around them.
Okay.
So I just openly, I'm like, humma.
Yeah. And so we saw you humna, and we're like, what you poof, we're like,
okay.
15 damage,
Mhm.
and then I am going. What's around us?
trees.
Yeah, it's this is a pathway area, but it's trees.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go try to hide behind a tree
Okay.
with a 15.
Okay.
So it's like in Pokemon when the other Pokemon's faster.
So I'm
than
like,
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
over here.
Something like that.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it. 18?
That's gonna hit.
One thing to remember about the combat phase is that in between each of your turns, everything is happening within 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's technically we're at different initiatives,
And then
but
I'm
really
gonna
we're all doing
30
it at
feet.
the
At
it's
the
all
same
at the same
time.
time.
Forward.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
5.
Sometimes it can
10,
feel like it's
15, 20,
my 6
25,
seconds,
30.
then your 6 seconds, and I'm just standing there like this while you do your turn, right?
Tomas is up next. He does not like this. He is going to. He doesn't have any ranged fucking spells.
Oh, that's
the
what he was
idiot.
like. I thought he was like, I don't like that they're beating up the undead lady.
20,
And I'm like,
25,
what? That's
30.
you were the one who wanted us to do this.
35.
Well, he just told us to be careful.
55.
Do
So
paladins
he'd
still
dash
have
it.
a dash and slam tower?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
We'll retcon it if so.
It
Next
might be a
up
subclass thing.
Is this one. And she turns to Tomas, pissed because she just got
3,
yeah.
2 arrows in the back.
But she can't do anything right now. So her reaction is just anger, and she looks like she's ready to say something, but it's this is your surprise round, so whatever she's gonna say is not going to come out yet. And you're up.
All right. I have 60 feet of movement. So I'm gonna start riding up, and I'm gonna. I have the longbow out, and I'm just gonna go, and I'm gonna shoot out 2 arrows.
Solid.
We said I have advantage on the strikes, or can it
you
see me
did
now? All right.
Well, you do because
Okay.
you passed. He did not. And
All right. So the first arrow is a 17 plus 9.
It's gonna hit.
The second arrow is a 13 plus 9.
Okay,
So.
that's gonna hit as well.
All right, and then that does a D8.
Just tell me the number one.
Yep,
It's all
yep.
done.
22 damage as two arrows fly out, and I'm gonna ride up, but not within. I'm gonna ride up and about 15 feet out from them.
15. So here?
No, 15 feet out from the thing. So right here,
Oh.
and then
20, 25, 30.
I have 60 feet of movement on my horse, on my unicorn.
35,
Oops.
40.
And then I'm
There?
gonna spend the rest of my movement. I'm gonna bolt into the woods.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, exactly like a sharp turn
Yep.
into the woods, and
Favor.
but kind of
sorry.
trying to get its attention. But then because I see Thomas doing that, I'm like, whatever. Thomas is probably gonna die to this thing now. Thomas. Tomas.
I use my chill touch.
Dex save. What is it?
What? On a hit.
So you have to attack it. So roll, add your proficiency, which is +3, plus your
16.
and then it's off of
then just ride away because you have 60 feet of movement on the mountain.
What?
this one +3. So it's always +6 whenever you.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So 19.
Okay, that's gonna hit. Roll your damage.
2d8. Is it this?
I need to remember to do my bardic
6,
inspiration.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
You expect
then,
it. Oh, let me just. You could do your thing, but I want you to know this before you do whatever is
Okay.
next. You're used to this spell doing like a lot of fucking damage. This one seems to take it pretty well, and it doesn't seem to do the damage that you expected it to do. So
Okay.
bear in mind with that.
Just saying, if you hit an undead target, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, if it can teleport, you're dandy. It's never bad to have like that kind of thing floating out. Like got disadvantage.
And then, am I able to run afterwards?
Yes.
I want to run right next to Franz.
Okay. 5.
I have something
10,
in store.
15, 20,
Ooh.
25, 30. You only get 30 feet, but
Okay.
Franz is like 40 feet of movement now, right?
No, I have 30, but I have.
bonus action.
Oh, I thought that I guess monks get extra.
Monks
do.
Monks get an
Robes
extra
down.
If
movement.
that's beautiful.
And we're
But I
back
have
at
the
the
dash
top.
as a
So
bonus
nice.
action, so.
When it's
With
nice.
Franz.
Sometimes a
Cool.
lot of times it'll be like
I
you're not
need
even
you.
moving on
one
a
second.
turn, so it doesn't even
5,
matter.
10, 15, 20, 25. I need you to make. Oh my god.
I'm falling. Guys, I'm not used to riding this
Wisdom saving
unicorn.
throw.
Wisdom?
Yep.
Wisdom saving throw. What's my wisdom saving throw? Okay. It's a 13.
Okay, you are paralyzed as it turns and gives you the meanest glare.
I'm like, cool. So it's just
Think
I'm
fish
paralyzed
face.
like this.
Okay. Next up is Ash. Wisdom saving throw.
18.
Okay, you are almost taken by this paralysis, but then
18
You're able to
is
shake it off.
almost. This is some Umber Hulk levels of shit.
move as you will.
Alright, I'm gonna move up. To 10 feet before it. No. I want to move so that I can 5 foot next time. Nope. So just like directly forward from right there. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna arrow it in the
Okay.
face.
Oh, I was hidden. Oh, is it within a radius?
It's a radius.
20
To hit or damage, I'm sorry.
to hit.
Okay, that hits.
No, cocked.
That's a really neat cock. Oh, jeez.
9.
Okay.
And I'm gonna bardic inspiration our good friend Tomas.
Okay. Tomas is going to make a wisdom saving throw.
Use the inspiration,
He-
Tomas!
It's interesting knowing it because like it's an NPC.
Yeah.
But he's definitely going to take advantage of that. So it's 11.
I mean, he's the one closest to her.
Okay, so he looked ready to get paralyzed, and then he was able to shake it off.
God.
Because of that, you're like, do it, Tomas. Like you see him get paralyzed, and you're like, don't fuck up, Tomas.
I feel like that is how he gives inspiration, is like negative.
Yo.
Like, you totes got this, or, you know,
Okay, so he hits both times.
don't fuck it up.
Smite that shit!
Yup.
I have a question.
Hey, what's up?
Can I perception check something right now?
Yup.
What do you?
Yeah.
What do you?
I want to see if it may speak the same language as me.
Okay. It hasn't spoken yet, and you haven't spoken to it.
But
So-
like by looking at it,
Mhm.
can I like perception that like
I think what you
because
should do is
school-
history.
history. Okay.
But we'll get to that in a second. I'm still
Alright.
smiting this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Smite.
Ella, you're just playing with yourself.
Yep. And it looks like that smite really fucked it up.
Good.
And then, what's with chill touch? Can it not heal?
It can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn.
Okay. You see it. So first it goes, "Leave me alone." So that's what it gets out, or she gets out, and then she like goes like this, like expecting to be able to heal herself.
But then the grip gets tighter.
Yeah, it does, and then she's looking a little scared.
Fuck, man, I should have talked to her first.
And then she tries to
What was
walk
that?
away. And
You
Tomas
heard me.
is a little shocked at that.
Yeah.
But
As
in
is-
his
as-
heart, he knows he has to
No, why?
kill it.
Do it.
Because
Do
well,
it.
he's getting this vibe from his god that it has to. So he's following that more than he's following.
This is why I'm glad I don't have a patron deity.
Yeah.
History check.
Oh yes. Go ahead.
That might be a yet thing.
It's 14
but as of
plus
right now, I do not
3,
have a
17.
patron
Okay. I'm going to type something.
Okay.
Or just you're going to read this paragraph only
Okay.
while I calculate the damage that
On
Tomas
the
does.
glare.
Yeah, so just this one right here. So he hits both times. He's going to.
Wait, you got 2 attacks on a reaction?
Oh no, I'm sorry. He only hits one, so I'm sorry about that. 5. Yeah, so he does.
I mean, he
5 more
can
damage.
take those 2. I don't mind. And so it's running away from us right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's not running. It's like shambling.
Okay.
It has normal movement.
Alright.
So
The
like.
question for me is, do I start my turn in its radius if it's running away?
Oh yeah, so it's taken its full movement, so you are not in its radius.
Yeah!
So,
Mm.
one second.
Do
Do you share that with anyone? It's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you
So-
say? It's 1 second. It's M's turn first, but then you can share
Okay.
that. So what I'm going to do is just
So should I wait for that information, or is this happening after my turn?
you could delay if you wanted. If you want that to, I'm just gonna say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Just a more or less how you're.
I was like 10
positioned.
feet back from there if you want, which matters because I'm galloping around on a horse with
okay.
60 feet of movement.
Alright. So that's what you get.
Go ahead and say whatever you want to
Actually,
say,
it's
then
not
I'll do my
shambling because
turn.
how can you shamble 30 feet in 6 seconds? So it's like hurrying a little. All right. If you wanted to, you know what, out of turn, if you wanted to share that before M's turn,
Okay.
but all you can do is share information. You can't do stuff yet.
So it's a dead soul that reclaimed its body for revenge.
And that's what you get in 6 seconds.
All right.
Cool, we should kill it.
Is it within 60 feet or 50 feet of me?
Yeah, because
10,
you
20.
said that. Well, no, you said you wanted to get within 10 feet of it or something like that.
Yeah,
So
10 feet away so I can stab it with a
Yeah.
lance, and then
Yeah,
I'll use the rest of my movement to.
so here. Oh no. Here.
Yep. How much movement was that?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
All right, 35, and then we're gonna go stab.
Okay.
So that's neither of those are probably gonna hit. 14 and a 13.
They both hit.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's 2. That's 16 plus 12. 28 damage.
Jesus Christ.
Is it still standing?
It is.
So what I'd like to do is then I would like to use.
But it's looking pretty fucked up.
I would like to use the rest of. So I still have 25 feet of movement. So I'm gonna move 25 feet forward, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna misty step 50. So I'm 55 feet in front of it, and I'll turn Diana around like in the middle of the road, waiting for it to. It's like kind of just
Yeah.
totally cutting it out. So I'm 55 feet up in the road.
Yeah.
That's like you can't get, and I'm in the middle of the road, so I can opportunity attack if they try to run by.
Yep. Sounds good. Favor, you're up.
I just last minute changed my plans.
Mm-hmm.
I want to run forward
Mm-hmm.
30 feet, because that's my max.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
And then I'm thinking I'm gonna finish this person
Okay.
because he's looking not too cute.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use Shatter
Okay.
on them.
Damn.
1 second. So it has to do a con saving throw, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
Con 14.
Okay, that is probably not going to do it. Let me double check. No, it's not going to do it.
Okay, so do I have to roll for attack?
You're going to roll for your damage, which I think is 3d8.
Yeah. So I have 2, and then I'll just roll another one again.
Mm-hmm.
So 9
Mm-hmm.
plus 110.
All right. Okay, 1 second. Well, that makes it easy. 1 over its max. So tell me how you just squeak by murdering it. So give me some flavor.
Oi! I tell it to go back to where it belongs, and then it just, blink. Oh.
It's a loud thundering shatter sound.
I mean, it's just getting by. So it's like a boop.
Yep.
And then like big pieces instead of like little pieces.
Yeah. I also love like the first one is like boop and then it's boop. Nice. All right.
She's the most subtle
First
sorcerer.
kill.
Woo! So, what do you do after that? Do you talk about it or do you go like, let's go?
Oh, I celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
You
do
doing like a head
hell
dance or
yeah!
something
Banana bread at work!
I get Franz the you want to look at the body look because I'm not good at that. I'm okay at
Sure, I'll look at the
proficiency in
body.
investigation.
Looting.
But
You
he's
wanna-
got like, he's got like
You want to do
plus
the evil
20.
stuff for me and
What-
loot the
what am I doing?
corpse?
What?
What am I doing?
Looking at the
looting.
body.
Oh, I'm looting the body. Cool. I got a 14 plus investigation. 20.
Okay. I mean, most of it is like just mundane. Like, it was a body that was buried and then unearthed.
Any like letters?
But
any indication?
I was getting there. So you pull out the like the pockets. It's just dirt because that's what. And there's a little like maggot or something that you like. Ugh, take it out. But clutched in its hand was a name and address. And you recognize the address as being or not the address, but like the town part. And you're not like, oh yeah, I know where this house is. But it's from a town a little north called Shing. And there is a name just like hate carved into the paper, like it's like etched into it, just Lloyd.
Blood magic.
And that's that.
Cool. So Lloyd.
That's the person they were gonna get revenge on.
Well, then Lloyd probably did something wrong. You guys might want to back up like 100 feet. I'm going to burn the body.
So we're gonna move forward 100 feet.
Yeah.
Why would we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Backwards as in I'm on the other side of the body
Mm-hmm.
because I came from down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So or up the road. But I don't.
Whatever.
What's down and up the road
Ash
even
is gonna
mean?
walk
They mean the
forward.
same thing.
Ash is going towards their destination,
Yes.
whatever that means.
So when they get like a more comfortable distance away where the spell won't bother them, I'll burn the body with conjure bonfire and or
Since
sacred
we're all
flame.
leaving and he's staying to burn the body, I go on his unicorn.
No, I'm on the unicorn.
Oh.
He's always on the.
But if you ask nicely, maybe.
She's always on the.
What's
I
the
don't ask
duration
nicely.
of
I never
fine
do.
It's as long until it dies.
Oh.
And then I can
Good to
do it
know.
again every
Yep.
day, baby.
Yep.
For how
But
many
you can
days?
only have like one. I'm
One
sorry.
at a time.
How many uses do these candles get?
Until like it burns out, but like unless you're holding the candle on, like a candle can burn for hours. So if you're
Yeah.
just lighting and puff it out after
Yeah.
battle, like
Let's see how long it takes to cast Fine
I
Steam.
didn't know there was
Yeah.
an initiative.
It takes 10 minutes. So
yeah.
So I use
But-
10 minutes the candle, then
But in my head, I'm just like they're kind of until like you are burned and the wax goes away and you can't like fix it up with a magical fire, not a regular fire. It's an unlimited use, just one per day.
I was really glad you weren't retconning like Diana's
No.
gonna die.
No, I like Diana. No,
All right.
she's fine.
All right. So yeah,
Alright.
burn the body. Smells terrible, but now it's ashes instead of body that can come back.
Roll a religion check. You.
We'll roll the black dice that always rolls ones. It rolled a 10 this time. Religion check
Still a
is...
one.
Yeah.
It's a plus 1, 11.
2 ones.
You just get an unsettling feeling.
Like, unsettling, like when I killed those brothers and my patron was like, oh wow, that was kind of intense.
Like a
chill down my spine, like this thing ain't right.
yeah, like not a I'm disappointed, but like not good enough. Not enough. Not enough is what
I
you
didn't
get.
do enough in this.
Or-
No, it might come back from the dead. I think is the.
Wait, so it's not
interpretation.
ashes blowing in the breeze?
There are.
So,
Ashes blowing in
but
the
it's
breeze.
not. It's not like there's just a charred body. I was like,
There's nothing left,
Yeah.
it's cremated.
and
Okay.
you just get this feeling like something more has to be done to make this not. But you don't know what it
Dispel?
is.
Oh, the paper. Did you burn the paper?
I got the paper.
Oh.
I'll just turn around and be like, I don't know what you want, and I'm gonna ride up, and then the first thing I say when I get up is, "If I die, cremate me." Sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
No, you can't actually. You have to send my body back to my mom.
I mean, what's the point of cremating you? They can raise a skeleton too. We don't have high enough flame to burn your bones.
Bones burn too. I just burned them.
Bones burn in
Holy
really
fire.
ridiculously high fire.
I
Cremation
have
takes a lot better.
fireball.
Potentially, that's a
When-
good
if
use of
I
a spell
die-
slot.
If I'm dying, you're sure I'm dead, and you've checked my pulse, you can fireball me.
Nice.
And
All
you,
right. Oh, sorry.
and you
yeah.
can have Diana.
What does Diana have to say about that?
I don't know.
It's a beast. it
Does
gets
she
no
die
soul.
if I die? If this D drops to
Respect
0,
it.
All right. Good session.
Woo!
alright.
Shit, it's 4:30 already.
It
Right?
is.
Time flies when you're having
Damn.
fun.
Damn.
I was like 4:30. Mine says 5:30. I'm like, my computer's still in New York time.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? What were we talking about?
Class is not important.
Class is very important.
Class
What
is
do you?
the most
So-
important thing.
No.
It's the
I just-
primary way through in which you interact with the game. It defines the mechanics of your character.
So I actually have a question. So like, what do you mean by class doesn't matter? Like,
Class is of course important for playing the game and doing combat. But what I'm saying when I say class is not important is that I think that and when you're role playing and your characters are talking to each other and you're making plans and you're doing all those kinds of things, the concept of the people don't have classes. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, yeah,
the
people
person
don't-
in the game doesn't have a class; they're just a person. The
But-
class is just
good.
just the rules by which that character accomplishes what they're doing.
So I would disagree because like my character is a fighter bard, starts with 2 levels of fighter and moves into bard specifically because his mom was like, gotta train you to fight.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna go to bard school. Like that defines who he is
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
as a person, not only in like profession, but also in like how he sees the world. Like those are formative pieces of his internal.
And so what I would
character.
say is that you're doing a great job of ignoring class. To me, I'm no. In a good way, because you have decided who this character is, and you've used the class system to express that in the game.
But I
Which
think
is-
that's what makes class extremely important. Class is a way to help describe the very conscious choices that your character is making.
Yes.
It's especially when it comes to a class that has a patron. Like you are a warlock. Like that is your character through and through. There's no way in which you can say like I'm not a warlock. You have a patron who is giving you power.
Mm-hmm.
And if like the patron goes, nope, you're no longer.
Well, that's not how the patron warlock relationship works. Patron can't take away the powers from a warlock.
Yeah, I can.
No. Clerics deities can, but a patron gives a gift and then it can't take away the
It
powers.
can take it based on a pact. If the pact depends on the patron, but if a pact is not upheld, a patron can say, no.
Well, based on my understanding of the patron thing, and this is probably something that there's better nerds out there than me who can discuss this more in depth. but from what I understand, a patron like gives a gift to the warlock or whatever, and usually the warlock pays like up front, and so then like the deal is done and you have the powers. That's how I've always understood it. That's not really important.
That's how some relationships work, I would argue.
But so to me, more when I say class doesn't matter, it's more like when I'm dungeon mastering and I have my players meeting each other, I don't want them to be thinking about, well, what class are you? Because to me, like a character that I'm DMing for, like Misan or her character Anushka, a lot more than just a rogue or just a, and I don't want to use the word just in such a negative connotation, but more than
Arcane?
Artificer.
Artificer. Like, and so one thing that I find, generally speaking, is it can be really easy to put other players into boxes when you're like, oh, you're a sorcerer, so now I know like everything about you. Do you know what I mean? When in reality, like, you're just a character in this campaign with us, and so I want to, in my mind, I don't want to think of you as a sorcerer, as having a particular set of skills. Same thing with you being a fighter bard or you being a rogue. Instead, I want to think of you as Franz. What has Franz done in the past? Who is Franz?
So are you saying
like,
in between like your party? Because like me, Dragonborn sorcerer, like in the world that we were just in, I was not accepted at all. So like class was really important there. So are you saying it's not important between the players, or it's not important like because it's perceptions in the game, how people view your character in their world? Yeah,
I would say more in the latter. It can be important in the game, especially like in ours, because we have this different thing going on with magic. I would prefer to role-playing games where class is as a secondary concern especially for role-playing, but even in combat to a degree.
I would argue that one of the reasons I really like class, and I really like to tell people what my class is walking in, is because you can't have every conversation you've ever had. Like Em and Ash, like Leia and Eric have not had every conversation that those two have had, right? So you have to do a lot of like summarizing and a lot of like, okay, we both assume a lot about each other, and when we, like for me, for the class, it allows me to assume some things in the beginning, particularly in the beginning of the campaign. So I can say, okay, I have a baseline, and then I can like add complexity on top. So it's never like, Franz, I don't think of Franz as a rogue, but he is a thief.
Yeah.
Like, but it was helpful. It was helpful in the beginning to be like, okay, so Franz is a rogue. This is like basically like in terms of, I mean, anthropologically, right? The culture of D&D. Like, I can guess approximately how, like, you as the player are going to run this character-ish. At least the tiniest baseline.
It gives you a baseball field.
And like. So, like, you're a warlock, which I always forget. I actually thought you were a cleric earlier today. I was like, that's wrong. Whatever.
No, I was making a joke about celestial patrons.
Right, yes. But it gives me, okay, so, like, magic user. All right, so I can, like, be I can semi-understand, like, who you are at the very, very beginning. But, like, I mean, I guess if we're half a year into a campaign and, like, I'm, like, we're still at baseline... Like, there has been no other complexity built on top of that. Then we're in a problem. Then we have a problem.
I think what I'm hearing from you, Eric, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that, like, one, you don't want, players metagaming, and part of the metagaming is trying to understand the mechanics of another player.
Right.
But also that classes aren't prescriptive. They aren't, like, they don't designate personality
They're not a full
traits. Which I agree with, but I still maintain that class is extremely important. And in fact, like, I can't imagine a scenario in which I'm building a character and its class doesn't factor in to how I'm building the character.
I just think what I do with my players when I'm DMing is that we start with, like, what's the general idea of the character you want to be? And so, for instance, in character creation, I always emphasize to my players that race and backstory are as important as class. For instance, I had a player who was like, ooh, I want to be a Warforged. And so then we went from there, and we're like, okay, what does the backstory of a Warforged mean? And we, like, talked about that for a little bit, and he was like, yeah, my guy, he would have been, like, a bodyguard for, like, the King of the Dwarves or whatever. And it's like, okay, then this is the class that probably fits that best. Like, but even with my players, I'm like, if you're, like, 3 levels in, and you're like, this isn't really working out, this isn't what I imagined my character would be doing,
then I'm like, okay, let's be open to like we can just do a full class switch, right? Because like the goal is that the rules express whatever your idea of the character is, right? So the class can help be the way that you get to that character, right?
I would argue that there are lots of different ways to create characters.
There
And
definitely
depending
are.
on the system, right, and like the group of people and all of that, like who the DM is, etc. I will make characters differently based on like all of those factors.
Yeah.
Right? But in like my most natural state, I think likely because of like how I was enculturated amongst heavy power gamers.
Yes. That'll do it.
Which I didn't know were heavy power gamers till I came to grad school, and I was like all of a sudden like, oh, like I didn't think of myself as a power gamer, but everyone else was like, no, like, you're a power gamer. I'm like, well, okay. I was like 0. I was level 0 with my other friends. But anyway, like I will often create like, okay, I feel like playing a barbarian, or I feel like playing like a fighter bard this time. Like I want a multi-class. What does that look like?
Yeah.
And then I will create the backstory on top of that, as opposed to the other way around. I think with 5e2, I have a really hard time creating the character in my head and then putting it on a piece of paper in 5e. I hate 5e for that.
Oh yeah, I think with 5e it's really easy, but that's okay.
Right. I mean, no, that's just right. That's just different. So I like 3.5 in Pathfinder because I feel like I think I've said this on the stream actually, but I feel like I can create all the nuances of the person that I had in mind on the piece of paper. Or in 5e, there's just not enough variability to do that.
Yeah.
So often in 5e, I will create, like, I will start, like, we just started another campaign, and, like, I was like, no, before I pick anything, like, I have an idea, but before I pick anything, I want to roll the dice and
I
see.
love when you did that. I thought that was really interesting.
And see what the dice are like. Because there are certain, like, if you get a middle ground, like, when you're rolling for your character, if you get a middle ground, there are characters that can do well, like, or classes that can do well with a middle ground, like, you know, it's somewhere between 8 and 16. And there are some classes that are, like, really need, like, at least 2 stats at 16 or higher. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think it comes down to different ways. Like, how important your class is at the beginning depends on how you're creating the character.
Yeah. And it's worth noting that the way that I DM, and Kelly can definitely attest to this, is I think quite a bit different than traditional DMs. I really don't care for sticking to rules very closely. And so what that means is, like, I feel fine, like, oh, I've got this player who is struggling in X, Y, or Z, like, you know, like, how can we rework your subclass or rework the stuff that's going on so that you can feel like you're doing, like, the things that you want to do. Oh, you want to add that spell from another class to yours? Well, let me look into it. Sounds like it's reasonable. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing.
Right.
Or with stats, like, I give my players basically, like, a free reroll if, like, it's really bad. Because to me, it's more important that you feel like you're really good at, like, I think one of the things that I do with my characters, they have to have a 16 or higher. Otherwise, you can reroll your whole thing. And that just makes it so you should feel like you are really good at something. And so, like, all of those little things that I do as a DM, I think, are there to try to help my players think less about the rules, generally speaking, and more about just what would be the cool things that I want my character to be doing.
This all depends on the system for me. Because there are lots of systems. Sorry, we're, like, taking over this conversation right now. But there are lots of
like,
systems.
we were talking for a long time about class.
That
It's really important. And it's not important.
I was like, what?
Of course, class is important. Sorry, go ahead. You were.
No, it's okay. Interjections are a good thing. I don't know. When I'm a DM, I'm much more flexible. In terms of, like, how I allow my players to do stuff, because I also think it's important to, like, make sure that each player feels like they are contributing in some way. I think it's really cool just to take the dice as they come, because then you can, like, in terms of, like, how hard it is to roleplay something. Like, if I have a character that has 3 8s for stats, like, I'm gonna have to roleplay that hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's, like, everything I do is gonna be based on, like, how I describe how I'm doing it, and like, and much less about the dice rolls, because the dice rolls will always be shitty.
Yeah.
And so I have to make up for that somehow, right? So I don't know. I think it just depends on the game, and it depends on the
Yeah.
people, and it depends on the character.
I mean, I like it when my players and when my characters have some trash tier stat. Like in our last campaign, I played this halfling monk who had just like a 9 or an 8 on intelligence. So I just played her as like this really lovable but just dope who just like constantly was getting in like trouble because she didn't understand like what was going on. I have a player right now, Adam, the Warforged, who has an extremely low. He's got like 8 charisma. He talks in a complete monotone in all role play sessions. I think low stats can really flesh out your character too. And like there's like these things in like when you're forging a character like quirks, and he did like a quirk and he just like read through them. He's like, one of them was like he assesses the power level of all creatures they meet, and so like it's like they meet like a deer, low power level, and so like you see how like his character comes together in part because of the dice and
Right.
because of those things. I just find that one of the things I dislike in character creation is that sometimes it can feel like starting with class can be limiting to what your imagination can do with a character. And
100%. Yeah.
And so I generally err on the side of the horse that's like, then we're just going to try to go in the opposite direction and make sure that we don't treat class as it's like the most important, all-important thing. But it is definitely, I said it's not important earlier today, but really what I meant by that is I think sometimes we take class too seriously.
I think that it can turn characters into caricatures, right?
Very
like
easy.
if you focus too much on this piece of paper and the numbers on that piece of paper, like particularly past like session 1 or session 4, right? Like it just becomes like this. You become that player, you know? And no one wants to be that player, which is defined in many different ways, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're actually saying the same thing. We're just coming at it from very different perspectives.
No, we
Yeah. Like I would say like Franz, to me, it plays more like a bard. Or what I would imagine the stereotypical bard would play like than a rogue, which is what makes him cool as a rogue,
Right.
to some degree. But I think the rogue is a better expression of I imagine Franz is like this. Even though we don't always narrate all of like the stabbings, like I always just imagine him as being a really dirty fighter who's
Totally.
and is always like in the moment of combat is like really like engaged, not just on like a dexterity level, but on like a charismatic level. Like he's like flipping people off when they're freezing him, right, or like stunning him or whatever. And so to me, like that is like a really excellent example of how a character can be way more than just their class. Because otherwise, you're thinking like, if you were just being a pure rogue, you'd be like, I sneak up behind him and stab him in the neck, right? Like, but it says like, like you're doing all this flourish and stuff like that.
Flourish and like he's loud, he's boisterous,
Right.
like by the book's rogue, he's a terrible rogue.
Well, and like so, for instance, Ash like definitely falls into his fighter in combat because he doesn't know how to use his spells in combat. He knows how to use his spells to like make people like him and to like do illusions, but hasn't had much experience in like using his spells in combat, and so I don't use his spells in combat, which will happen more often as he gets like more into adventuring. But he spent most of his life either literally living the high life or like in inns playing for people. So I don't know. What do you guys have to? I don't know.
I want to switch the conversation a
Yeah,
little bit
please.
and ask our guest,
Yeah.
how does it feel to come in the middle of a campaign?
It's fun. This is like one of like I'd say it was my first like actual D&D session because when my friends and I play, it's very chaotic. What you call
Murder hobo.
Murder hobo.
Oh,
I have like 3 of those. And it's a big party too for a first time DM.
Yeah.
So it's like we're all trying to get into this world at the same time, and we're all just as clueless.
that's how you start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is fun.
Nice.
Because like now I kind of like the whole spacing thing. We're just like my dad's just like, yeah, you're there. There's no rules there, kind of thing.
I think like what's great when you have murder hobos as a DM is to then just put in place like really difficult obstacles. Like today, like we could have gone on murder hobo on that snake.
Yeah.
That would have been a terrible idea.
We would have spent the entire session on that snake and might not have finished by 5. Like that's
Yep.
like that's real.
And like, and the Inquisitors are another good example of like, yeah, if you want to go fight the Inquisitors, go ahead. You'll probably get murked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, as Ash can attack.
Except that one time where we murked
Yeah.
them somehow.
It was because you had.
Well, the 2 times. Actually, we keep pushing over the Inquisitors quite easily. We've never actually had a really.
But you haven't like gone to the headquarters
No,
and like
no.
knocked on the door and been like, "Hey, we're gonna murder
and
you."
we're
now.
still terrified
Like-
because of like our backstories and the things that have happened. Like, you know, but like it is funny that we fought the Inquisitors with the Dragonborn and like we got 2 hold persons off and there was all hell, almost the entire combat.
Yeah.
So like that
and you
was.
got advantage or auto crit or whatever.
I was auto
on
critting,
the
so I was
hit.
doing like 54 damage a turn, and these guys had like what, almost like close to 200 health.
You probably would have killed yourself if you had your crit fall
Yeah.
at that time.
That's fun. Yeah, that would have been fun.
And then the second time when we were down in the dumpster saving Ash, like we just happened to find like they were like the junior officers.
True, but like also, this is why I love like level 5 and above is players get such an increase in power that it's, for me, like level 5 is where CR rating starts to fall flat because players have more access to spells, more access to bonus action stuff, more access to crowd control, so they can kind of take on more difficult encounters. If we didn't get as like that first Inquisitor encounter where we were at level 4, we got lucky. We
Yes.
we could plan that. If we would have gotten,
We were only getting 1 attack around.
Yeah.
So like, I forgot what I was going down. But yeah, like we've grown in power. Like we might not be, our characters might not be totally confident, but mechanically, we can murk some folk.
Yeah. I will say, because just in a light defense of the CR system, is that the CR system is designed around like 6 to 8 encounters a day.
Yep.
And so it can CR like might rate something as a medium, but when I have all of my spell slots and I'm like a wizard, like of course I can win a medium encounter quite easily by burning all my spell slots. And if I'm only doing 2 encounters a day, then I don't really need to worry about it or something like that. Whereas if we really were like playing it more by the books dungeony, then like a string of 8 medium encounters in a row, by the end you're like, all I have is cantrips against this thing, and then it's like
you're hard, like often at the boss too.
Yeah.
Like you come to the boss and you're like, well, should we try and take a short rest outside of this obviously dangerous door right here?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And so I think you're right. CR system definitely starts to fall post 5. Also because players have all these unique and different abilities and they have magical items and stuff, and that isn't always encountered in the CR thing. Whereas like when CR like 1/4 versus a level 1 character, it's really easy to actually just do the math and be like, well, they're at, you can just say like, well, mostly it's just like you're just slugging at each other, you're just hitting each other with bats, and whoever falls first. But then it's something like, I stun it, I use my, what was the chill touch to stop the healing.
And then actually, that's the only way we were able to beat in a different campaign something that healed every round was by having someone use chill touch every time, because we were at a level where we were not doing the amount of damage to really chip away with the health that it was regaining. So we're like, Faust used chill touch a lot. So
are you joining us next week?
I will be back in New York.
No.
Okay.
She's not coming back until she visits me in like 7 years. No. But yeah, but your character will be chilling with them for a little while.
Okay.
So.
Well,
Literally
we'll see how that
chilling.
goes. I'll send you my character sheet.
Yeah, thanks. But yeah, any closing thoughts, any final questions we have?
We never got the answer to the Diamond Drake, which makes
We
me
didn't.
quite upset.
No.
Oh.
Diamond Drake, if you're still there, I do want an answer. Are you a Diamond Dragon or are you a Diamond Drake the singer?
That's what that was.
I will say I do love
I have
having
no
a
idea.
one-time guest, because even just the little bit that we talked about yesterday helped me form a lot of stuff for the canon. So like, I know that because you were investigating, like, all right, are you like yourself the whole time, or are you like the other Dragonborns we've encountered? So having someone like this really helped, and that I only did that because of the backstory that you had. So it's fun.
Yeah, I love, characters can help flesh out backstories just so much. Like, in this campaign, I feel like because of the way my character ended up relating to the Inquisition in my backstory, that helped flesh out what they were. And in ours, I had no idea, like, she's, like, from the Metal City, which is, none of the other characters are from it. So, like, I had to think of what is the Metal City? And, like, I had to, like, come up with all their politics and who leads the the Metal City and all this stuff. So that way, we have a good backstory to work with her. And it's like, now I got all that work out of the way if we ever go to the Metal City, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put my campaign Bible together and, like, had long list of everything, and then my Tomb player was like, I want to be a tiefling. Did not factor in tieflings at all into this. I'm just like, fuck. Okay, let's figure out how a tiefling works in this world.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which led to some cool things. And then on Tabaxi, and I'm just like, what do I do with you? You're a fucking cat.
Yeah,
You're
like
from the desert.
there was
pretty much.
Matt Kolba had a video like kind of talking about that with this tiefling thing in particular, and like he was like, well, like the player wanted to be tiefling. He's like, well, tieflings in this world are only knights in this one desert, like, and that's it. So you're a knight from that desert, and then the player's like, yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully your player feels that way. Otherwise they'd be like, I want to be a knight from the desert. I'm a rogue.
So I understand that it's 5 o'clock, but as a DM, this is one of my biggest pet peeves is when you give them, like, you give players the Bible.
Yep.
And it has the thing in it that they want it, like, it has, like, so, for instance, I ran this campaign where it was like, okay, so elves exist, but they exist in this very, like, cloistered space. They never come out. Literally, there are no elves. And one of my players was like, but I want to be an elf. And I'm like, but you can't be an elf. And he's like, but I only play elves. And I'm like, don't be in my campaign. Like, that's what I wanted to say, but I was like, fine, you're a fucking elf. But, like, it broke a lot of the like things that I wanted them to be able to do that they now couldn't do because they had an elf in the party and everyone hated them.
Yeah.
Like literally would walk into a town and no one would speak to them because they had an elf in their party. And I was like, I told you this is how it was gonna be. And he like just railed against that. And I was like, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought this was a really fun session.
Yeah, today was fun.
Definitely.
It was awesome. Thank you for joining.
Yeah,
you for having me.
Yeah.
For joining us. We'll see you next week.
And we'll eventually find that stop stream button.
Yeah.
Boop.